through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, hi, good morning. Hello. Hi, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Seattle Sports app, podcast platforms, 97.3 HD2, and YouTube. Hi, Lyle. Good morning. I didn't even get to see you before the show today. Hello.
That's all.
Good to see you today, buddy. Maura, hello. I love you, Maura. You're great. I just want to let you know that. Every once in a while, you make me laugh, and I just want to tell you that you're great. You're both great. The Mariners right now, not great.
I mean, you can let the people know. You were laughing at, I had a snarky response to a Brock text in our thread yesterday.
The Maura-Brock relationship's one of my favorite things. It just totally cracks me up. Two people who are just like always a little on edge with each other, and I just really enjoy it from afar. So anyway, you made me laugh yesterday. Thank you for that. I always appreciate it. The Mariners did not. No one laughed. It was sad. It was hard. It was a slog. Nobody wanted that. That was not what we were hoping for at all. And instead, it leaves us another batch of
Late Night Mariners texts.
Yeah. Does this help at all when you wake up and you're feeling frustrated, Lyle? You got to be pissed right now. You got to be upset. This team is 10-15. Every game feels like a slog. You've got to be like, ready to burst underneath that calm veneer. Does it help to hear
Late Night Mariners texts?
Does that sexy sax help?
It is fun.
It is
Between
fun.
that and maybe I've admitted this on the show before,
Yeah.
maybe not, but oftentimes when the team's on a losing streak, just for the humor of it, I will scroll through replies on the final score graphic on a loss because it's insanity.
You don't leave any, though, do you?
No,
you don't have like a burner account to leave angry replies?
Swear on my life, no burner account, nothing. I've got one account.
You've never thought about a burner account?
I mean, if I thought about it, sure, but I've never made one. But those replies are hilarious, just like these late night texts are.
Late Night Mariners texts.
All right, let's see what the people were saying last night during and after the game. It is nauseating seeing so many batting average in the 100s. It is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to argue with that. Nobody wants to see batting averages in the 100s. Rob Refsnyder's hoping for a batting average in the 100s right now. That'd be a nice little improvement for him. Salk! How come no one in the history of baseball has ever referenced a sweeper, and now in 2026 everyone throws one? They used to call them sliders. They're just a slider that breaks more sideways. That's all. Don't worry about it. It's just a new name for an old pitch, and they're just, they're still sliders. They're just calling them sweet. It's like a variation of the slider. Don't get too caught up in it. Players only meeting time for the M's, Salk. They're on pace for a 65-97 record. Time for some changes. Look, I'm not disagreeing with that. Like 10-15 is a really crappy start. I almost swore in the air. It's a really crappy start. I almost said that, but didn't start it with a C. I almost started that with an S. My God, Salk, get it together this morning. Like, that's a really bad start. You're not supposed to be 10-15. You're supposed to be 15-10. Like, no kidding. It is a bad start. I don't know exactly what they need. I'm not in the clubhouse every day. I don't know whether they need a players-only meeting. Look, this is not a game where you can just, overturn the Gatorade table and rally everybody and make them mad. We're all sort of conditioned to think that the scene from, Bull Durham in the showers, is the lollygagger scene, is kind of how you change the fortunes of a baseball team. You've seen Bull Durham, right, Lyle?
Of course.
I mean, like, you're not going to get a lollygagger deal with Robert Wool next to him going, look, like, that's not going to happen.
You lollygag your way around the infield?
Yeah, you lollygag your way around the house. You know what that makes you? Lollygaggers. I mean, it's a great scene. Not actually how the game works. Certainly not at the pro level in 2026. So it's not like you just need, I don't think it's a motivation issue. I think they're motivated. I mean, what does a players-only meeting do? Are they able to calm each other down and just say, hey, we've got this. We've got a good team. We've got a good lineup. We just need to kind of everyone stay within themselves and play that team game. Maybe. Yeah, maybe it is time for something like that. The problem is, the leadership, the group that would likely call something like that, they're kind of been the biggest part of the problem. Like, if you're Cal Raleigh, you want to call a meeting and say, like, okay, everybody, be more like me right now? Thankfully, Cal started turning around here in the last couple of days, but I don't know that they're in a players only meeting space yet. That being said, like, you got to figure something out here. You can't continue to play baseball like this, or it is going to go from early to late real fast. Salk, I'm trying not to panic. Help. I don't know that I'm the guy. Like, I'm not panicking today. They still have, what do we have, 138 games left to play? Like, if you want to not panic, just think about that. It's not even the end of April. You still have all of May, all of June, all of July, all of August, and all of September to play baseball. That is a lot of games. 138 games. You're 3.5 games out of first place in April. I mean, there's no reason to panic whatsoever. But there's absolutely a reason for urgency. There's absolutely a reason for urgency today. Like, look, you don't want to keep doing this. And we weren't supposed to get this year. So that's why I'll disagree with the texter here overnight that says, Salk, I know you're going to beat us over the head with it's early and tell us that if we're frustrated, it means we don't understand baseball. But I have this crazy idea that in order to be considered a good team, you should win more games than you lose. I'm not telling you that. Not at all. It is early.
I think you've been different about that this year, but people, like you said it so much in past years that people are still accrediting it to you.
Well, but it's been right in past years, like, and it's still true now. Like,
well, and it's true this year, but you also keep agreeing with people that we expected this year to not have the slow start because they came off of such a strong season.
Play better baseball, guys. Like,
so we just got a text from the 360 that says bring up Cole. First of all, he's hurt. He has a wrist injury and hasn't even been playing in Tacoma. But second of all, why would you want to bring him up in this manner? I don't get the people that want to bring him up while they're struggling and put that pressure on him.
No, that's a big fat no. No, the answers have to come from inside, man. The answers have to come from them. You're not going to bring up Colt Emerson in the. First of all, you're right. He's hurt, so it's not even an option. But even if it was, that's that. This kid's got such a long future ahead of him. You want to make a decision based on, what's happening right now in a couple of weeks? That is such short-sighted thinking. No, please don't do that. No, that's an early morning Mariner text that's still not going to cut it.
Late night Mariners texts.
Bum, homeless athletics just kicked your doors in. Get serious, Mariners. This is humiliating. They are in first place, but it is funny that they're homeless. I know Lyle won't say it, but I'll help him out, Lyle. The season is over. Yeah, that one came in overnight. At least as Mariner fans, we can look east and say, could be worse. We could be on a 12-game skid with a $370 million payroll. That's true. The Mets are, wow. That is such a big wow. Unbelievable. 12 straight losses after spending $370 million. How's that even possible? How could you possibly make so many bad decisions? And how do you possibly keep, what's his name, Carlos Mendoza? How do you possibly keep him around? I mean, like, you spend $370 million and lose 12 straight games in April, you got to fire your manager. You have to.
I don't even, did they make bad decision? I mean, I don't hate any of the moves they made. I mean, they gave Bichette way too much money annually, but I don't hate him on a 3-year deal. They're just playing collectively as bad as you could possibly imagine.
You got to fire the manager there. Like, I'm not saying that that's always the right thing to do, but it's the right thing to do right now in New York. You have to. You've got to throw something to the wolves. You've got to change the whole tune there. All right, that's not our problem though. Yep, season over. Better luck next year, fellas. Something just isn't clicking with this Mariner team. Well, there's no doubt right now there is something that is not clicking. I don't know what it is, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't see a sacrificial lamb here for the Mariners. I don't see an obvious sacrifice. You're not going to fire the manager. I don't think you're going to fire your hitting coordinator and Edgar Martinez. I mean, this is one of the challenges with having, franchise legends in those spots. You're not going to fire them, and certainly nobody deserves to be fired, I think, in this team after a 10-15 start. But there's no obvious sacrificial lamb. Certainly the pitching coaches you love. You're not doing anything there. I don't feel like Kevin Seitzer is the person like, oh, move on from Seitz and everything's going to work out. Like, they just need to figure this out. There is no obvious answer. It's not calling up someone from AAA. There's not going to be a trade. They just need to play better. And that's just on them. I don't know what else to say.
Especially against lefties. I mean, this lefty thing's becoming a real problem.
And we knew it was going to be a problem. I mean, we talked about this heading into the year that it would be a problem.
For sure. And when you go up against Mackenzie Gore or you go up against Max Fried, like, it's understandable when it happens then. When this happens against Jacob Lopez, then it really gets magnified.
I totally agree with you. And I'll end with this one. Managerial decisions can be frustrating, but Dan Wilson's the kind of guy who prevents this team from getting lost in the woes of early season struggles. We can trust this team will get going and fight for the AL West in August and September. I like the text. I think you're right. I do think this is where Dan's personality does come in handy, that while the people around the region are freaking out for obvious reasons, and I'm not blaming anybody for it, Dan doesn't. I mean, you'll listen. I'll play you the sound. The word "again" shows up in Dan's post-game comments. It feels like every day because he is seeing the same problem every night, but also because that's sort of who he is. Like, it just kind of slow and steady wins the race. As for now, I don't see the Mariners making any changes to that, and they're going to rely on his steadiness to eventually pull this team out of it. And let's face it, when they start to hit, they're going to look very different. They're going to look more alive. They're going to be more fun to watch. All of those things will happen. But right now, I think slog might be the best word for it because it definitely feels that way at 10 and 15. We'll come back. We'll give you some of the lowlights of that. We got mock drafts galore a day before the NFL draft. We got a lot of fun stuff to do today. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
When you jump on the back of a bull and the gate swings, there's no middle ground. You either ride it out with 8 seconds of pure adrenaline or hit the dirt and run. Bull riding is not just a sport. It's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. This is the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour. See the best bull riders in the world faced off at Cooper Tire's PBR Tacoma at Tacoma Dome this weekend. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have vehicles made for adventure seekers. Get the Tundra at 2.99% APR for up to 72 months with $1,000 bonus cash or $4,000 customer cash. Lease the 4Runner for $389 a month or the Tacoma TRD Sport for $399 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Offers valid through May 4th on approved credit through TFS. Exclusive taxes, titles, license, and a negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Everyone's been told the same story about real estate investing. Buy property, deal with tenants, manage construction headaches, and yet Legacy Group Capital, they ignore all of that. Jason Rantz here. Here's what Legacy Group Capital actually does. They lend on real estate. They acquire it, they build it, they develop it, and then they share the profits with investors. It's not complicated. There's no gimmicks. The track record, double-digit returns with zero investor losses. You get the upside of real estate without owning a single piece of it. And right now, Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund, it's offering a fixed 9% rate of return. And yeah, IRAs are accepted. While everyone else is chasing overheated trends, you're locking in a fixed return backed by real assets, managed by real experts. More than 1,300 investors have already put over $350 million to work with Legacy Group Capital. These aren't people who got lucky. They got smart. You can get smart. Call 425-635-4700 or go to legacyg.com. Don't overcomplicate things. Legacy Group Capital.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way.
You can can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis every day. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a time out to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
I can't do it today. I already have plans. Something came up. There are a million reasons to put off a cancer screening, but one reason to keep it. Early detection. Referral.com/screenings.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
This baseball season, Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. John Curley here. Get the price of a new heating and AC system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure, no waiting. Just a few questions and you get a winning personalized price. That's a home run. And if your system is over 12 years old, it could be costing you up to 20% more or could soon fail. Score a personalized price for a new system in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
No matter how old you get, you always remember that one great teacher. Hi, this is Rick Riz, inviting you to join WSECU in celebrating Teacher of the Week. Great teachers inspire. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. This year, we're going to honor 24 great teachers with grants of $500, courtesy of WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Teachers are the real MVPs. Nominate an exceptional teacher now at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, another ugly one for the Mariners offense. They just once again couldn't really get anything going against a soft-tossing lefty that really has not been very successful this year. Cal did hit a home run that accounted for half of their 2 runs, but the A's put up 5 on 13 hits. Shea Langoliers getting it done again.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, tagged, center field. Julio looks up. He's not getting this one. It is gone.
Yeah, that is what what you do to the marine layer. Just hit it incredibly hard on a line and just force that thing over the wall. He did it. Mariners lose. Luis Castillo was good, not quite great. He went 5 innings. He battled. He gave up a couple of runs. No major managerial decisions last night. Just honestly, not enough offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, just kind of goes back. Some of our contact was a little bit softer tonight. I thought he made some good pitches. I thought he had a little bit better command tonight than he's had. He does what he does. He changes speeds and he goes in and out. And again, we just weren't able to find the barrel consistently enough tonight.
They sure did not. And unfortunately, they lose the game. They lose the series. They are now 10-15, 3.5 games behind the first place A's. It's really not that much. Series finale today, 1 o'clock, as they will try to salvage one. Logan Gilbert will try to be the stopper, and I think that's what you're hoping for from him, right? Come out and shove today and just dominate a good not Oakland. I keep wanting to call them Oakland. Can I just call them Oakland? Requesting permission to just call them Oakland, please. Logan Gilbert, Aaron Savali today.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, well, a day after he was not good and surrendering 3 runs in the loss, Casey Legumina was designated for assignment. So that gives him, 10 days to trade or release him. He could always accept a minor league assignment at the end and return to Tacoma, which I would bet is what is going to happen. I don't know about this, but John Morosi was on with Wyman and Bob yesterday and read a little bit more into that decision.
I'm not saying that Legumina was made an example out of, but you're not going to let go of a lot of your hitters right now. You're not going to bench. But you can say, listen, guys, hey, we're under 500. We were in the ALCS last year. What's happened so far is not okay. And Legumina, who was with us in the playoffs last year, now he's gone. We called up a guy from AAA that was performing. It kind of sends a subtle message. It's time to pick it up, and it's not early anymore, at least from the standpoint of putting the best 26 out there. I thought that was an interesting timing of that move. Again, it was defensible, logical in a lot of ways, but if I'm in that clubhouse today, I show up and say, okay, all right, someone just lost his job today. And it was a player, not a manager, not a coach, but someone lost their job, and that tends to send a message to the group that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate the thought, and maybe that's the case. I just think Casey Legumina was the last guy in this bullpen, and they're tired, and they needed another fresh arm. They had too many guys that have pitched too often, and he bore the brunt of it. So, I don't know. I appreciate the thought. Feels like a bit of a stretch to me on this one. In his place, they bring up Alex Hoppe, who we saw in spring training. It's going to take a bunch of dudes, right, to get through an entire season. Hoppe will be, the second call-up this year in the bullpen after Wilcox, who got the first call. Bryce Miller going to get his second rehab start Friday in Everett. Colt Emerson, as Maura mentioned earlier, missed his 3rd straight game with that wrist injury we've heard about yesterday, so no bueno there.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Final mocks coming in a day before the first round starts. I can't believe the draft's tomorrow night. How cool is that? Brady Henderson was part of ESPN's draft where they had the reporters in each city make a pick. He took Chris Johnson, the cornerback out of San Diego State for the Seahawks, basically said that they've been very disciplined this offseason, and that would continue their trend of being disciplined. I think we're going to have to talk through that word over the course of the morning. Joel Klatt, maybe a little more pragmatic, saying the way things worked out for him, they just kind of have to draft Jadarian Price.
They're stuck here. I think that Seattle has to draft Jadarian Price, and they better hope no one jumps them to get Jadarian Price, because with Charbonnet trying to come back, nursing a bit of an injury and coming back and trying to become healthy, they need to replace Kenneth Walker, who's now with the Chiefs. So I think Jadarian Price from Notre Dame, listen, this guy is phenomenal. He's also going to help in the kick return game. He's versatile, and he can hit home runs. You talk about a guy that does not have much tread off of his tires. He was a backup, so he didn't get many carries, and yet he still scored all those touchdowns, a home run threat.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think John views the world with have-tos like that, but I totally understand where Joel's coming from. Would tend to agree. Peter Schrager had his mock this morning. He has them trading back with the Cardinals. Going to pick 34. You know what you get for that? A 5th rounder. I mean, I guess you can. Like, you can do that and then maybe trade back another couple. But, like, is that worth it for a 5th round? Like, don't you also want the 5th-year option that you get in the first round? Is that worth a number 5, a 5th round pick? Doesn't feel like it to me. Anyway, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Yeah. Trading back, 2 spots, you get a 5th rounder. Wouldn't you like to at least get a 4th round? I'm sure that's what the value chart says, but doesn't it feel like you've got to add a 4th rounder in order to make it worth trading out of the first round and taking a risk that you end up losing out on what you want? I mean, I guess, look, you make that trade. You're at 32. They're trading up, you would assume, to get Ty Simpson, right? So they trade up, and they take the quarterback. Then there's one more pick and then you. So you're really not moving all that far. Maybe this is just like Mike Salk, the radio host, who wants to talk about something on Friday morning as opposed to waiting until Monday. But it does feel like there's not a tremendous amount of value there in adding back just a 5th round pick. I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like earlier in the offseason, Bill Barnwell had one where they traded with the Browns and they got like a second and a fifth.
That sounds much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. That sounds much more fun.
They traded 32 for 39, 70, and 149.
Yeah.
That sounds way better.
That sounds way better. So you get a third rounder in there as well. Like you add a third, you got to move a little farther back, but that feels a little bit more worth it to also add a third rounder in addition to the late round pick. All right. Mike Mayock has done this job. He's been in that seat. He's made those draft selections, some for the better, some for the worse. He reflected on that, but also gave a lot of clues as to where the Seahawks could go tomorrow night. Stick around. You'll hear it next on Brock and Salk.
It was just over 2 months ago the Seahawks reached the promised land.
Bringing it home again.
But for John Schneider and his team in the front office, the long march to the Super Bowl begins here. The NFL Draft.
We're all about the preparation, the process.
Tomorrow, first-round coverage begins with a John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. live from the VMAC. With Brock Heward, Michael Bumpus, Dave Wyman, and Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. Powered by Home Comfort Alliance. On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Oh, man, went outside this morning to the car, just pouring out and just is so sluggy, wet, gross, nasty. The ground just totally saturated with water. That can cause real problems around your house and your crawl space. It's why you got to get Crawl Pros to come out, take a look in your crawl space and see what's going on in there, because if there's too much water, well, now you can end up with structural damage or even worse, toxic mold in your home. You don't want that. Let them come out, do that free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll climb in. They'll go where you don't want to, certainly where I don't want to. And if they find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system or sump pump and reroute all that water outside your home's footprint where it's supposed to be, right? Don't take the risk. Do what I did. Have Crawl Pros come out. They'll do a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic. They'll look for insulation, any signs of rodents. If you're worried anything's going on in there, I'm talking critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing, call Crawl Pros. Schedule that free corner-to-corner inspection today at crawlpros.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Mark your calendars. April 25th is Snohomish PUD's Energy Block Party, and you're invited. Bring the whole family for a day packed with hands-on fun. Check out the Truck Stravaganza, where kids can get up close to big PUD rigs and first responder vehicles. It's free, it's fun, and it's all happening on April 25th at PUD headquarters in Everett. Visit snowpud.com/Energy Block Party.
We all know winning means showing up stronger, faster, better than before. And when you're chasing that edge, the Drop by GNC cuts through the noise, bringing you the best new innovations in sports nutrition and performance. From muscle building and strength support to improved recovery and focus, we curate the newest drops from GNC Amp, Pro Performance, and Mega Min. Plus, Ghost, Raw Nutrition, Bucked Up, and the top new brands changing the game. No guesswork, just leveling up. Check out the Drop by GNC for what's new, what works, and what's next.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Mariners and A's today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10. Pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hello, Seattle.
Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy 1 Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Wizard, huh? Mike McDonald, John Schneider, they're going to have to be wizards on the Thursday. If they want to get a few more picks, John was pretty clear he would like to trade out of pick number 32. So is he going to be able to pull that off? How lucky are we to have Mike Mayock join us now? Of course, longtime draft analyst and former GM of the Raiders. Mike, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How you all doing?
We're just a couple days before the draft. This is about as good as it gets, right?
We'll find out.
All right, so let's put you in John Schneider's shoes for a moment. First of all, congratulations. You've just won the Super Bowl. Nice job. Everyone's talking about how great a job you're doing. Unfortunately, the reality is that means you've got pick number 32 and you only have 4 picks. What are you doing on Thursday night?
Well, first of all, I'm happy you brought up John Schneider, and I'm happy people are appreciating him because that doesn't happen a lot in the NFL with general managers. And to have this is his 16th year, I think, coming up. He's one of the best and has been for years. So you're sitting at the end of the first, second, and third rounds, and you don't have a pick after that until the 6th round. So obviously when you win a Super Bowl, you lose players. They want to go get paid. And Seattle lost some players, starting with the running back, Walker. On defense, they lost Maffei and Reek Woolen to Philly and Kobe Bryant. So there's some holes there. I thought John did a pretty good job trying to backfill. But obviously running back is a big hole. Depends how much you value it. But with Charbonnet's situation, everybody in the world knows that that John's got to augment that position. So, I think you start there. And you're sitting there at 32, and I kind of laughed when I saw that John talked about trading down so openly. I'm kind of wondering whether or not he's trying to set the table for taking Price at 32, which wouldn't surprise me at all. But the problem is when you match needs up with the depth of the draft, especially when you're drafting at the back end of each round, Jadarian Price probably will be there at 32. I don't know how much beyond that he'll be there. He'll be the second running back off the board. And then the running back group is not as good as it usually is, especially on the first 2 days of the draft. I mean, after Price, I think there's another drop off. And typically the running back draft averages 5.4 running backs taken in the first 3 rounds over the last 5 years. And I have trouble getting the 5 running backs that would have a first, second, or third round grade. So it's, it's Love, it's Jadarian Price, Mike Washington from Arkansas, Emmett Johnson from Nebraska, Nick Singleton from Penn State. And those last 2 might typically be more like 4th round picks. So the pickings aren't great at running back this year, even though you can still get a solid one. That's point number one. I think their needed edge rusher matches up with the depth of the draft. I think you can get a quality edge guy at 64, maybe even 96. And if you're looking for an interior offensive lineman, I think the end of that second round for a guard would I think you find a real good quality guard at 64. So we can talk about all the individual needs, et cetera, but I think off the top, you could throw corner in there also, and there's a pretty deep group of corners.
You know what I want to talk about with you? Because you've lived this. You've done it. You were there as a general manager for a number of years on a Tuesday, 2 days before the draft. Take me back to the life experience. I'll get to the war room with maybe my next question, but take me back, Mike, to your real life experience there with John, with the Raiders, John Gruden in this case. And what was the Tuesday like 48 hours before draft day?
You were pretty much trying to make sure that you've already gotten rid of chasing all the ghosts that are out there. And trust me, the ghosts come out in the last couple of weeks. Guys that really you never heard of that all of a sudden ran 4.24 somewhere, and you're panicked because you don't have where's he? Where's he from? I don't even never heard of him. So you need to get rid of all the ghosts that you've been chasing, and really what most of the guys are doing are trying to get a little bit of quiet time. There's a lot of phone calls between GMs right now, and that's for a couple reasons. One, traditionally there is anyway. Like, if I need to move up, are you open? If so, what's the cost going to be? By the way, I'm open to moving down all 3 rounds. Just be aware of that. So there's a lot of that conversation, and I think with the first round going from 10 minutes to 8, there'll probably be even more of that, just trying to get more finite with what you have or you don't have. And I think all GMs have their own kind of idiosyncrasies as we get closer to the draft. And I talked to one guy this morning, the GM. He said, Mike, I just closed the door. I told everybody I don't want anybody in here unless there's an emergency, and I'm going to scrape through a bunch of the third-day guys myself that I haven't had enough of a chance to see. So I think everybody, Brock, kind of figures out their own thing, but I think most of us, when you got to about this point, the hay's in the barn, your board is set, and you're just kind of trying to get some quiet time to think through all the things that are coming up over the next few days.
One thing I think Mike Mayock here with us, I've always appreciated and really grown to appreciate about John Schneider is how locked into their process they are. And he'll go on, and he's on every Thursday with our afternoon show with Bob and Dave. It's awesome. And he kind of is very clear about that. Like, here's the process, and here's, where we deal with the medical. And then, all our scouts are in. And then this last weekend was the time with all of our coaches. And then today, he and Mike will put the final game plan together. Mike McDonald, like, this is it. And the hay will truly be in the barn Tuesday. How important do you think that process is, and how refined has it gotten over a decade and a half now in that position?
I think the best teams and the best general managers, which therefore means if they've been there a while, they've been a pretty damn good team. I think they stick to their process. And can they upgrade it? Can they fine-tune it? Can they bring analytics more and more into it? Absolutely. But there has to be a finite process, and you have to stick to it. And the good teams are consistent throughout that process. And I think the second point lurking there that you just said that I love is the connection between your GM and your head coach. And that's critical. I mean, if you want a smooth draft process, now remember, the hay's pretty much in the barn, and you got a board that everybody's agreed to, the coaches, the scouts, everybody. And now it's important that the head coach and the GM have the confidence in that board to see it through. Will there be some questions throughout draft week? 100%. And you have to make some on-the-clock decisions where you're going to trade up or back, or you have an opportunity to do this. That's fine. Those are all things that, especially John has been doing it for 16 years. I mean, John's great at that. But you have to in this case in Seattle, because John makes those calls, that the head coach has to implicitly trust him and know that John's not going to give him a guy that the coaching staff doesn't want. And whoever you take at 32 or 64 or 96, at that point, that guy's a Seahawk, and we walk together forever. And that's got to be the philosophy.
Talking to Mike Mayock here just 2 days before the draft. All right, let's talk about some of the options then that will be available in those spots. You mentioned running back, edge, and cornerback. We've certainly talked about all three positions. Let's start with running back. Jadarian Price, worth the number 32 pick?
I like Jadarian Price, okay? I don't love him in the first round. But what's the difference between 32 and 40 at a certain point? He's the next best running back option, in my opinion. Now, John and his guys might be sitting there and going, you know what? We don't love him at 1. We would much rather get, pick a name. We'd much rather get Mike Washington at 96 than we would Jadarian Price at 32. So there's a value piece that has to come into this equation, and then it's got to be compared against what's available and who's the highest guy on your board. Truly, forget needs for a second. Say you've got the Georgia Tech interior offensive lineman as the number 28 guy on your board, and his name's Rutledge, by the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What if he's at 28 and Price is at 40? And do you sit there and you go, wow, this kid is a really good player. And let me clear up one other misconception. And John talks about trading down, and all the fans think that's really easy. And it's not. And he may have some opportunities, especially because there's kind of a quarterback issue dangling out there. So there could be an opportunity to move down, and 32 historically is potentially a good spot. But there are a lot of times where you can't. You just flat out can't move. So, and you got to make a decision. So I guess my point is, yeah, you're going to be looking at Price, and that's the easy question for the fans, but you're also going to be comparing him to the edge guys available at 32. How much do you like him versus, say, T.J. Parker, Cassius Howell, and Keldrick Falk, any one of which could be there? How does that compare? How does that compare against a corner class? What about the Hood kid from Tennessee? I'll tell you a kid I like who might be there is Johnson from San Diego State, the corner. Clean, really good player. So again, it's not just looking at a running back in space. It's finite. Just what's he? What in a vacuum? It's comparing him to everybody else and making a decision based on that.
You brought up the Chris Johnson kid, the cornerback. Is he a Seahawk? Yeah. Does he feel like a Seahawk kind of player to you?
Yeah, he does. And he'll tackle. And Seahawks appreciate physicality. They appreciate guys flying to the ball. They appreciate good human beings that care. All of those things are a match for him. He can play press or off. I like the kid a lot, and I do think he'd be a good fit.
My memory was correct. I wasn't going to look it up because I do remember the last time you were on bragging about your baseball and football career back in the day at Boston College.
Yeah,
you were the multi-sport before there ever was. I'm curious, Mike, all these years later, I know as a player, I remember, some of these challenging games that I had much more vividly than the good ones even. I'm curious from your years in the war room and running that. Do those memories of I wish I could go back with that one, do they hang on with you as much as your memories did as a player?
As much as wishing you could make a different pick?
Yeah.
A different decision? Yeah, of course. Brock, what I would tell you is that, and you know it as a former player, there's absolutely nothing like being in the locker room on game day, except coming back to that locker room with a win. And that's a feeling that people can't understand unless they've been through it. And I didn't have that feel for a lot of years till I took the Raider job. And, so that was a long time in between locker rooms for me. Mm-hmm. And that was amazing. And it's the closest feel to being a player. So you could imagine, especially when, you're making these decisions, Some of them pan out, some of them don't. I would tell you right now, like I still wake up at night with the number 4 overall pick and taking Cleve Farrell in my first year as a GM. And I was looking for a solid player, and he's a pretty good player. He's still in the league, but at the end of the day, he certainly shouldn't have been a top 10 pick. And I still feel pain over that. It's somewhat mitigated by taking Max Crosby in the same draft in the 4th round.
Yep.
We took with the Raiders when I was there. We took just as much pride with the late round guys and the free agents. We made some good calls there, and I'm just as proud of those. But in all honesty, Brock, just like my playing days, I mean, I still remember throwing an interception against Malvern Prep for the league championship my senior year in high school. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, that haunts me. That haunts me. I was 16 years old. It haunts me. And just like that, it's the same thing with draft picks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have that same feeling. 2-point conversion, Sumner High School. Just put it on him. Just don't throw it. Just don't throw it at his shins to a fullback. Put it on him.
See, that's the nice thing. I don't have any regrets. I don't have any memories like that. My sporting career was perfect.
You're clean, Salty.
Yeah, I'm clean. Yeah,
totally clean.
Going to that Boston College football camp we went to play Razzle Dazzle or something. All right, Mike. 6 teams this year don't have a first-round pick. How many of them do you think will want one?
Well, they'd all want one, but they're probably not willing to give the price up to get one. I would say, I don't see Indy moving up. I don't see Cincinnati's moving up. Jacksonville's a little bit of a wild card because that GM showed some fire last year with his. James traded up to get that cornerback wide receiver, Hunter. Moving from what was it, 5 to 2, I think. Mm-hmm. And for a first-time GM to do that in his first draft with his first pick, I was like, wow, that takes some fur. So who knows what's going to happen there? And I don't think Atlanta's really has a whole lot of firepower to move. Green Bay, that's all. The thing is, when you talk about moving up, it's more about a position of need that has a high value, i.e. quarterback. That's where we see most of those things happening. And the other way it works is that when you see on your board a drop-off and you know that you don't have a pick in the second round that's going to get a guy at that position, then sometimes you're like, I got to go get that guy. And that happens a lot at the beginning of the second round and the beginning of the 4th round when guys you can't get a guy in the first round, and people want to move up to the top of the second round, day 2, and in the top of the 4th round, day 3. But I don't see a whole. I mean, it's all about the quarterback. It's does anybody want the Alabama kid? And everybody's talking about Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Well, we watched Seahawks do that with Nicky Manwari last year. It's come up in the second round and get him, and man, did that pay some massive dividends. Last couple things here for you, Mike. How do you explain, we started the segment or this hour with explaining to a 5th grader the platoon situation in baseball, righty to a lefty. How do you most simply explain best player available versus need, and how you wash that out in the process and ultimately on draft day?
Yeah, that's someday over a beer we'll talk that one over, Brock. But at the end, here's what it is. I think the best team, the most consistent teams in the league, take the best athlete available with a drop of common sense thrown in there. For instance, if you need a guard and you got a 65 on him, and you got a corner at 65, and you're looking at same exact grade across your board, and you're up next, and you're sitting there and you're going, okay, I need a guard. But that corner is a better position, more important position, and maybe we need to take him. And that's the conversation. That's the real conversation. So it's just a common sense thing. If you got a guy with a slightly higher grade and there's a guy just below him in a position of need, you probably take the position of need. You're trying to help your team now. However, the more times you reach, and this is the argument against the specific position, the more times you reach for a player over time, it lessens the talent level on your ball club.
Yeah. Yeah, which is kind of what I've heard from different GMs and those are doing it. So then very specifically, John Schneider the other day said, we are a team that drafts for our board. We do our board. Yep. We don't draft for the rest of the league or how guys are going to. How many other teams, I guess that struck me as like, well, doesn't everybody have their own board and they only draft for their team and their board? Or do other organizations and teams try to draft to what others are doing?
Now, what it is you draft to your board, but when you have a good feel for league value, it can help you move up and down boards and make trades. So when I was with the NFL Network years ago and had a vast array of friends around the league, GM, scouts, coaches, they wanted to see my league value board before the draft because somebody that they might have a safety with a third round grade where my league value was sixth round. So maybe they can move back a round or two before they get them. So I think league value, the recognition of what a guy's worth league wide versus you might, just because of scheme or who your coach is or whatever, you might have a great feel for a certain kid and you might have a higher grade on him or a lower grade. It's really important to know what league value is so you can move up and get them or trade back. It's really a good tool to have.
Interesting.
Last thing for me, and it's something I always wonder about, is how hard is it to get into next year's first round in general? I know this year maybe it'll be a little harder because next year's draft looks a whole lot better than this one, but it always seems to be such an advantage to have a couple of picks in a draft heading into it in the first round. Right. And yet I don't see that many teams trading to get next year's. I mean, how hard is it to trade a second-round pick for next year's first if they're supposed to have equivalent value?
Right. I think there's an inherent feeling amongst GMs that if you have to wait to next year, you'd much rather have a player in your building this year. A, because he might play for you and help your team this year, but more importantly, given the development in your weight room, your nutrition people, your practice facility, next year, year two, he knows what you're doing and he should be a contributor. So typically you'd rather get a guy this year. Now, if you get an opportunity where a team doesn't have a lot of draft value this year and is willing to overpay next year, that's a different conversation. And again, it comes down to kind of common sense and where you are as a team.
Mr. Mayock, always appreciate it, man. Thank you, too, on very late notice to jump aboard with us this morning. It's just awesome. I still quote you. You said to us either last year or the year before about alignment and that, very few teams have the kind of alignment that we see in Seattle, and so many people strive for it. And, man, if we watch that come to life, like 4 Super Bowls in 20 years, obviously winning one last year, kind of out of nowhere. Yep. That one sticks with me, and we always appreciate all your wisdom and experience, man. Thank you.
Hey, my pleasure, guys. I hope you have a great day and a great draft.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't appreciate this text that came in, Brock, that says, no regrets, Salk? There must have been a time you got the wrong herbal tea at the post-game tea. That's got to be a huge regret. See, that seems very unfair. That's very, very unfair that somebody would go there.
I like that.
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, appreciate it. Thanks, Mike. There you go. Mike Mayock, who is awesome. He is really great. I love that guy. He's been a great guest over the years.
He lived it, man. He went from that booth into that seat.
Yep.
And I don't think that was an easy situation. I think there was a fair amount of destruction or dysfunction there with the Raiders. And I think Mr. Gruden's a very big ego. And then you got the owner. And then, just that was not an easy deal.
They were moving, right, during that time?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a mess. Definitely a mess.
But he points to that Cleveland Farrell, which, again, will come into play over the next 48 hours as we talk about players and you build up to it. And he's like, well, at 4, I just want a good player, right? I just wanted a high floor.
Mm-hmm.
Just elevate that floor. Just don't be a bust on me. And he's not. He's played a decade in this league, but he was never the ceiling player.
I thought he was going to be, by the way. I thought he was going to be a really good player. We talked about him a lot. I thought he was going to be really good. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out that way for him and ultimately for Mike. But, yeah, all right, well, really good stuff there, Brock, and tells you some of the challenges that they will have. Good question. Yep. Does anyone talk about using AI for draft prep 425? Good question. I would assume they're all using it now.
They're all using it. Yep.
Of course. Why Whereas you used to ask people, okay, play the role of this team and that team. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just have your computer simulate all of the other GMs and all the other teams with their needs and what they might do.
And there is actually a clip of John Lynch. It's floating around talking about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure. How could
he said
they
if
not?
you're not using it, you're already behind.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that seems like an obvious way to use AI for sure.
All right, well, shout out to Mike Mayock. We'll be right back after this. It's Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Dealing with divorce and custody issues can be terrifying and very lonely, but you don't need to face it alone. Goldberg Jones has been helping Northwest husbands and fathers for more than 30 years. Thousands of men have put their trust in us. You can too. Learn more at goldbergjones.com.
Are you an HVAC professional in Western Washington? UA Local 32 offers industry-leading pay, advanced training at a state-of-the-art facility, and retirement benefits you can count on. For 135 years, they've had your back. Start building your future at ualocal32.com. Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 25% off windows and doors or 12 months, no payments, and no interest. And we're giving back with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through Sunday, May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Are you looking for a job or perhaps a better job? We're hiring at Pacific Power Batteries with formal training about batteries of all types, customer service, and safety in the workplace. If you're tired of some crappy job where you are now, visit PacificPowerBatteries.com. After 90 days, you'll be eligible for a paid health insurance premium, a health savings account, our bonus program, paid vacation, and more. Or stop in and talk with a store manager at Pacific Power Batteries, where good people sell reliable batteries. Come on by.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? Hey, Brock Heward here. And working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years. And you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months. Plus, mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here. So go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info.
On October 3rd, Snohomish PUD is hosting the first ever Community Energy Run at the Water Operations Center in Lake Stevens, located on the scenic Centennial Trail. It's a family-friendly 5K where every step supports the Community Energy Fund, helping local families keep the lights on when times get tough. Join the Community Energy Run on October 3rd. Learn more at snowpud.com Evan
Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Smalls here. What if you could enjoy the flavor of a cocktail without the alcohol? Meet RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category that delivers bold taste and a warming sensation, but with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and zero calories. So you can celebrate with friends, unwind after a long day, and wake up tomorrow feeling great. It's all the ritual of a drink without the regret. Discover RK at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, the spirit without the alcohol.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to excuse you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Oh, man, Brock, this just was not supposed to happen this year. It just wasn't. We weren't supposed to have these conversations. 10-15. Another series loss at home to the A. We weren't supposed to do this on April 22nd. Okay, fine, maybe April 5th. But April 22nd, I really thought by now we wouldn't be having these conversations. So let's put a little perspective on it. And I did just a little exercise yesterday as I was as frustrated as anybody was. I'm sure you were too. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's the day before the draft. I'm great.
Okay.
It's not even the day before the day before.
No.
It's the day before the draft.
Yeah.
Coming into town, I'm suited and booted. Let's go.
All right. We got a lot of draft stuff today. 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock. Daniel Jeremiah at 8:30. Hardcore draft day. But we'll start with what happened last night. So they're 10-15. Okay, little perspective. 10-15. That is, of course, 5 games below 500. It is 3.5 games out in the division behind the A's. So in terms of panic, the season's over. No, obviously you can come back from being 5 games below 500 and only 3.5 games out in the division, right? There's no need to panic. But I think I, like everyone else, was expecting something more like 15-10 instead of 10-15, and not 500, but 5 games over 500 and getting ready to go on a run once the summer started. And that's a full 10 games better than where the Mariners are right now. So I do think that there is some significance between 5 games, okay, but 10 is kind of the pace you were hoping to be on this year, and obviously that's not going to happen. So I decided to look back a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Division winners last year on May 1st. So, where you've got 7 games to go before May 1st. Where do you need to be before May 1st? Okay, that's kind of my thinking there. You gotta mute that, Brock. Come on, you gotta press mute. What's going on?
I gotta put my glasses.
Oh my gosh, just press mute so I can do all this.
Gosh, I got it.
All right. Division winners. Who was the best of the 6 teams on May 1st last year? That would be the LA Dodgers. Not a surprise. 21-10 on May 1st.
Okay.
Next, I think, would be Seattle.
14-11?
18-12.
Ooh.
On May 1st.
I got you.
Not today.
Yeah.
On May 1st.
Gotcha.
So I'm looking at what you got to be in 7 days.
Yes.
18-12. The 18-12 overture.
Yeah, you were 14-11 through 25 last year, and then
you went on a little bit of a run.
So 18-12.
18-12.
Okay.
Thank you, more. Next up, I think, would be a tie between Cleveland and Philly, who are both 17-13. So this is about 30 games. Makes sense, right? 17-13 for those 2 teams. Milwaukee, who ended up winning 96, 97 games. Great team last year. 16-15. Game over 500, so not great. And there was one division-winning team that was below 500 on May 1st. It was Toronto, who obviously advanced to the World Series, and they were 14-16.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst team on May 1st was 14-16. They weren't They weren't 10-20. Mm-hmm. They were 2 games below 500. They were right there. And I think that's probably about where you want to be by May 1st. In order to get there, what do you need to do? You probably need to go 5-2 here in the next week. Now, again, if you don't, it's not like you're going to write off the season and say, forget about it. Just because no one did it last year doesn't mean it can't happen. But I think you see that, if you're going to be a good team, you don't need to be 21-10 on May 1st. The Dodgers were the only one that was like that last year. But you probably got to be pretty darn close to 500.
Yeah.
And that means you got some work to do here in the next week.
I appreciate that. And I did go back and look last season because we started the year looking at the first 10 games. And I think it was like the same record, right? Both teams were like 4-6. And it was about this time that the Mariners started to put it together. And they were 14-11, as you said, 18-12. And it just kind of showed themselves, kind of expressed themselves. And then there was a little lull. And then the trade deadline came, and you brought some reinforcements, and then you obviously got really hot. The challenge I think I have too, Salk, in this, and I think this is probably where a lot of the Mariners masses, certainly in the social realms, feel, is just the eye test. I mean, just the good old-fashioned Mike Salk blink, just blink scout BS. Like, geez, just blink scout. The Padres look like a lot better team. They kind of look like a 100-win team.
Mm-hmm.
This A's lineup, this is without even Rooker right in the middle of it. And the 2 guys at the bottom right now are holes in their lineup, but the other 7 you go through, like, man, that guy can do damage, and he can do damage, and that's a tough at bat. And he puts the ball in play, and that guy does damage. And you just kind of compare and contrast right now, like your lineup, and it's not there. Just blink scouting. Like if you didn't know any of the history, if you didn't know last season, you didn't know any of that, and you're just kind of blink scouting right now, this just doesn't look and feel and operating the way that I think a lot of us expected it could.
That is true.
And that's Garver, and that's Rivas, and that's not just the 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup that are each doing some things in spots.
Right.
I mean, and the numbers will tell you that. Go look at the OPSs. Go look at the WAR numbers.
But I mean, it's a little unfair to cherry pick some of that also. Like, Garver's in there once a week. It's not like he's a major part of what their lineup is. Rivas is there because of an injury right now.
Very
so, I mean,
fair.
like, I get it. Cole Young has been hitting. When they have their regular lineup, I still think it looks like a lineup that is similar to the Padres and similar to the A's or anybody else who played this year. They got some really good hitters in their lineup. They're not hitting.
Yeah.
Now, last couple days, they've started to hit, and unfortunately, it still hasn't done much for the wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
But that, to me, is, again, you've got a lot of time. You really do. You still have 138 games left to play in the season, so you don't want to. I'm sorry, 137 now left in the season. You don't want to panic.
Nope.
But you got to start winning. Like, I don't know what the middle ground is there. How do I tell people that? And this is the challenge of doing this job every day and talking about a team that's going to be playing for 5.5 more months. How do you say, no, the season's not over? Of course it isn't, and you've got so much time to get back to who you are. But also, you got to start freaking doing it because, you haven't shown it really yet at all.
I don't know how close this is to what you're trying to get at, but my mantra with all this is basically 95% of fans know somewhere deep down it's early, whether everybody wants to say it or not. But 95% of people do know it's early. Maybe there's some crazies out there, but that's fine. But nobody wants to hear about how it's early. Not with this team and this expectation.
Well, what do you want to hear then? It's over? I mean, is that better? Is it better to hear this thing's over?
And I'm not saying...
Let's shut it down.
Well, I'm not saying this is about you, just in general.
But what does that person want to hear?
I think they just want to see him win.
Like, that's fine, but I can't make that happen when I'm on the radio here at 7:08 in the morning. So what I'm curious because I would put you in this camp as much as anybody.
What's the fix? How about that? How about instead of just tell me how this
fix? You wait for the guys to hit.
I mean, nobody's hitting the ball hard right now. There's a big issue. You had 7 singles last night. Right. Singles don't win you baseball games. And if the bat speed stuff is a little bit,
but I thought singles were what this team needed. I kept hearing that.
I never said that.
Everyone kept saying, Mike, shut up about the home runs and the walks. They just got to hit. Just make contact.
I never said that. I never said that. Ever, like, the hard hit rate thing feels real because everybody across the board is down in hard hit rate. They're not doing damage and they're not winning games.
Well,
You see that number they put up last night in this series? Just in these two games against the A's, as far as hard contact?
Yeah.
2-1. 2-1. I mean, you're just, and, through 25 games collectively, they're not anywhere near where they need to be versus their peers.
That feels like a strategy then, right? I mean, like if there is some sort of strategy there to try to make contact rather than to swing hard, stop doing it. It's not working. And I never thought it would work. I mean, like, swing for the fences, man. It's 2026.
Yes, but as Shannon Drayer said to us earlier in the week,
elevate and celebrate, Brock.
Yeah. Tee it high and let it fly.
Darn right. Tee it high and let it fly.
Yeah, that's Salk's mantra every time.
Just don't scrape the ground first, because then that thing won't go very far.
I mean, just quickly for context, Cal Raleigh is in the 11th percentile in hard hit rate right now. Julio's down 40%. Or 40th, he was in the 82nd percentile last year.
And doesn't some of that make sense when the mantra every night is, well, they're doing a really good job of moving runners over, and I just really want to see them, make contact and go to right field and go the other way and move the runner. Like, when that's the strategy, of course the hard hit rate is down. No kidding.
Yeah, and I'm out on that. You're not going to hit the ball hard. You're not going to have a good offense.
I never liked that strategy much. I like walks and home runs, and if it takes a couple of strikeouts in order to get them, fine. But the not hitting the ball hard, it might be fine if you've acquired a lot of those types of players. Right. But even Jacob Wilson's stinging the ball all over. If you've got contact guys up and down your lineup, fine. But I don't want Cal and Julio to be contact guys. I want them to hit the ball out of the yard. That's what they're capable of, 40, 50, 60 home runs. Not moving a runner from second to third. Hitting a home run to move the runner from second to home,
but then
and
when
yourself
you start,
as well.
But this is some of the hole you dig yourself in. When you then start that way, and you start and you look up at the big board, and you're 0 for 19 because you're trying to do that, then that's where I think you start to grip it, and that's where you try to put the ball in play, and that's where you try to turn this thing. You loved the at-bat last night from Julio, and it was productive, and it was a single.
In that situation,
but if you listen
to
Ryan Healy and you listen to those guys and Ryan Rowland-Smith, like, hey, man, this guy's going to throw you a cement mixer.
Yep.
Turn on the ball and drive the ball.
Yep. Now, down 2 or 3 in that. I just want him to get on base. I mean, it's a little bit different.
Yep.
But in general,
yes,
you got to hit the ball. You got to hit it hard. So, all right, we got to take a break. We'll come back here. We'll give you everything you need to know, including some of the commentary from after the game last night. And then it's a big, big draft. I don't want to focus all day on a team that's losing right now. Let's focus on something super fun and the hope of the draft, which springs eternal. Tomorrow night to watch the Seahawks trade out. I can't wait. It's Brock and Salk, CL Sports on 710.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First, PCF Construction Group. Spring really is a perfect time to start planning your dream deck. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get that process started. I'm talking about 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. And most people who start with that design package, well, they end up with the outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer really is your first step. So don't wait till summertime to wish you had started sooner. Do what Molly and I did some years ago and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Upgrade your comfort and cut utility costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors plus $1,000 off whole projects while taking 12 months to pay with no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 30th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Get down with Casey and the Sunshine Band when they take the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Sunday, May 17th at 8 p.m. The iconic 70s group has toured around the world, and now they're bringing their blend of funk, disco, and R&B to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on May 17th. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Hi, Andy Klein here. There's something special about a baseball game. The moments and the memories. At Klein Jewelers, that's exactly how we feel about our diamonds. They're a beautiful reminder of life's biggest moments. We're here to help you find the perfect diamond or beautiful piece of jewelry to celebrate your engagement, anniversary, birthday, promotion, or just because. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Shine with Klein.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Mariners and A's today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10. Pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, another ugly one offensively, Brock. Mariners just don't really get much going at all. A run early and then one more on a Cal Raleigh home run, but that was it. Just 2 runs overall. A's, meanwhile, put up 5. They had 13 hits. It almost felt like that game could have gotten even farther away than it did. Shea Langoliers with another home run. It just wasn't pretty offensively.
Offensively, we
we had some opportunities that we didn't cash in on tonight. I thought, the first inning was outstanding. Getting ref on there, getting him, over to the third, and then the sac fly. And obviously Cal with a couple hits tonight, and Julio. But a lot of contact tonight. I think we had 8 hits, so there was a lot of contact, but just not a lot to show for it. And we got to keep pushing and keep getting that traffic on there, and keep giving ourselves a chance. And we know that at some point we'll start to get those runs in.
Yeah, it was a lot of contact, just not a lot of loud contact. That went to the A's over and over and over again throughout. You had 8 hits, 7 of them were singles with the 1 home run. And I don't know. I'm hard-pressed to believe that these guys aren't going up there, certainly in the right situations, thinking damage. I mean, like that's today's game. I don't think, and we didn't hear at spring training, Salk. Honestly, did we hear in spring training as much of, well, get them on, get them over, get them in? Like, we didn't hear that nearly as much this year in year 2 as we did the previous season. Am I wrong on that?
I mean, we've heard it a lot after games, I would say.
Okay.
We hear a lot, like, I hear it a lot after games, praising those at-bats that, move a runner or this and that. I just, at the end of the day, you gotta score more runs. You gotta hit the ball hard. You gotta put together better at-bats. You gotta do all of those things. Luis was fine last night. He wasn't great, but he was certainly good enough against a very good lineup to put his team in position to win.
What was it the night before? 1 of 14 with runners in scoring position, and then last night was 0 for 4. So you're talking about 1 for 18, and you're facing a group that we were just talking about off the air.
Not great.
That's coming. That A's group is coming. That lineup is coming.
They're pitching.
No,
you got to take advantage because they're going to score runs.
Yes,
I thought Luis did a good enough job last night. It wasn't incredible, but it was certainly good enough to win. And so now, unfortunately, you've lost the series. You're 10-15. You're 3.5 games behind the first place A's. Series finale. Try to just salvage one today. And Logan Gilbert, you want to be the stopper? You want to be the opening day starter? Let's go. This is one of those times your team needs you.
Needs you too, man.
Yeah,
Jeepers.
Against Aaron Savali.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, there's a new face in that bullpen, Brock. Move yesterday, Casey Legumina, a day after surrendering 3 runs in the 8th inning, and maybe I used that word on purpose, the team designated him for assignment. Gave them 10 days to trade or release him. You can always accept a minor league assignment at the end of that. Be back in Tacoma, which is my guess as to what is going to happen. I don't know that I agree with this, but I'll play the sound from John Morosi, who thinks that maybe they were sending a message there.
I'm not saying that Legumina was made an example out of, but you're not going to let go of a lot of your hitters right now. You're not going to bench. But you can say, listen, guys, hey, we're under 500. We were in the ALCS last year. What's happened so far is not okay. And Legumina, who was with us in the playoffs last year, now he's gone. We called up a guy from AAA that was performing. It kind of sends a subtle message. It's time to pick it up, and it's not early anymore, at least from the standpoint of putting the best 26 out there. I thought that was an interesting timing of that move. Again, it was defensible, logical in a lot of ways, but if I'm in that clubhouse today, I show up and say, okay, all right, so someone just lost his job today. And it was a player, not a manager, not a coach, but someone lost their job, and that tends to send a message to the group that way.
I don't know. I just feel like it was more about they needed another fresh arm, and Legumina's not been good for
and not many
2
other
years.
options, right?
Yeah. So Alex Hoppe comes up. We saw him in spring training. Bryce Miller, Brock, got a second rehab start Friday in Everett, or will get it Friday in Everett. That's good news. Colt Emerson missed his 3rd straight game with the wrist injury. That is not such good news. No.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, mocks are coming to an end, man. The last day for mocks before it all starts for real tomorrow night. Brady Henderson participated in the ESPN mock where all of the local writers made a selection. At number 32, he took Chris Johnson, cornerback out of San Diego State. And I thought his word was interesting, that it was continuing their offseason of being disciplined.
Yep. Yes. I don't think Brady would mind if I shared how much conversation we had about this. And, it's kind of neat the way that ESPN does it with all of their beat writers to cover all the teams around the league, and they go through the process. And it was exactly this scenario that, we taped with Daniel Jeremiah this morning that you're going to hear him talk about and talk through. And 2 players that are stacked so closely together with my 2 final profiles that's going to be today and tomorrow with the corner and the running back. What do you do? corner and a running back. And I totally get where Brady's coming from. And I think in the end, that's where he settled. And he chatted with other sources and other scouts and other people that just from a ceiling and an upside and a talent and a grade, while they may be close, this guy's a Seahawk. I think Mayock said that about the corner yesterday, did he not? That this kid out of San Diego State, Chris Johnson, is just a Seahawk. And you get that, you get the value of a corner over the next 5 years. Hard to turn that down, even though if there is a void in that running back room right now.
Joel Klatt, a little more pragmatic, said they just basically need to take Jadarian Price. They don't have any other real options. Pete Schrager has them trading back with the Cardinals to pick 34, just 2 picks, and adding a 5th rounder. Like, yeah, all right. I don't know. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Feels like.
I want to live in that world and need to, right?
No, you don't.
Want to and need to. I'd much rather want to.
But maybe
get the best
you are
player.
in that world a little bit.
Are you
like,
in that need to?
I mean, gotta have somebody run the ball. Like, someone's got to toe the rock. Like, that's part of your game.
You get swept today by the A's. Are we in a need to rattle the cage a little bit? 130.
Hard to feel like you're in a need to in April, but you don't we said this start was going to be more important this year, and there was more expected of them. I want to play you that sound. We kind of ran out of time there. I was going to play you the Ryan Healy sound from yesterday, where he was saying, look, the gap between expectation and
execution
is leading to frustration.
Yep.
There's no doubt.
Yep.
For the Mariners, for the players, for the fans, for the media, like, everybody's frustrated, and for good reason. Like, you were not supposed to be 5 games below 500. You were supposed to be 5 games above 500. Doesn't mean you can't get there, but you weren't supposed to be here.
This would be like the Seahawks team starting out 26 with Super Bowl expectations, starting 1-2, right? And losing a game that, to a team that you shouldn't probably lose to, or kicking a ball away, or fumbling a ball away.
Not drafting a running back and then not being able to run the ball, and everyone going, well, it really feels like you should be able to run the ball. Weird, after you didn't draft a running back. All right, so I came to a shocking realization yesterday, Brock, just shocking. You won't even believe this. It was right at the end of the show, and something just hit me right in my forehead. I don't have wide-spaced eyes like you, but it just smacked me right in the face. It's next on Brock and Salk.
It was just over 2 months ago the Seahawks reached the promised land.
Bringing it home again.
But for John Schneider and his team in the front office, the long march to the Super Bowl begins here. The NFL Draft.
We're all about the preparation, the process.
Tomorrow, first-round coverage begins with a John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. live from the VMAC. With Brock Heward, Michael Bumpus, Dave Wyman, and Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. Powered by Home Comfort Alliance. On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
All right, Mike Salk here. I don't know if you've been thinking about these GLP-1 injections, if you've got to lose weight. I just think you got to ask yourself some questions first, right? Like, are you ready to spend $3,000 to $5,000 a year and then stay on that medication long term just to maintain? Yeah, a lot of prescription weight loss medications require weekly injections, and then when the medication stops, so does the weight loss. And in fact, the weight regain is actually pretty common. Most people don't realize that the research shows a significant portion of the weight that you lose actually comes from muscle, and that's not anybody's goal. Plus, it slows your metabolism and makes keeping the weight off even harder. Well, at Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, it's a totally different approach. Doctor-developed program that has really worked. It helps men and women lose 20, 30 pounds in just 60 days. Heck, I dropped 10 just in the first week. No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. Get this going, man. If you want safe, affordable alternative to weight loss injections, go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Everything that matters is at stake in a divorce. Your home, your savings, your children. For many of our clients, a divorce was unwanted. This is Rick Jones. At Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men, our team of experienced attorneys handle every aspect of a divorce and custody case. When stakes are high, you need a lawyer you can trust. Husbands and fathers trust Goldberg Jones. Visit us at goldbergjones.com to get your questions answered at no charge. That's goldbergjones.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
The charter plane to Queen Charlotte Lodge is on the runway, and you're not going to want to miss it. This summer has limited availability for king salmon, halibut, and lingcod fishing in beautiful Haida Gwaii, British Columbia. Queen Charlotte Lodge is absolutely the place to be. A luxury resort and amazing fishing with your buddies, dad, or son. Book your stay at fishqcl.com, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. Queen Charlotte Lodge. Experience fishing first class. And remember, our dollar's worth $1.35 north of the border.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on right now through May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
For 24 years, Sea Star Restaurant and Ron Bar has been Bellevue's and my go-to for fresh seasonal seafood. And my good friend, Chef John Howie, is behind every plate.
Hey, thanks, Brock. You know, springtime is the best time for fresh, wild Pacific Northwest salmon. At Sea Star, we go from Columbia River King, my personal favorite, to the Copper River King in May.
So whether it is a date night, whether it's a business dinner, or you're craving the very best wild salmon, go visit John Howie at Sea Star in Bellevue. Visit Sea Star in Bellevue.
Mariners and A's today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10. Pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
The road to riches starts at Silver Reef. This April is your chance to win $100,000 in cash, plus a 26 Mercedes-Benz. Have some fun in the fast lane every Saturday night with hourly drawings from 5 to 9 p.m. Join us April 25th at 10 p.m. for the guaranteed grand prize car giveaway.
Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef.
Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
And we're back. The big headline today. Your Washington Credit Union, WSECU, has done it again.
5 straight years as Forbes' best in-state credit union. That's a dynasty, Rick, like 5 straight championship rings.
Or 5 seasons hitting 400, Steve.
Holy catfish! If you want a team that wins year after year, join your Washington Credit Union, WSECU. Details at WSECU.org.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You're going to laugh at me when I give you my big realization, because you're going to be like, yeah, no kidding. And I'm not saying that I didn't already know this.
Oh.
But it just popped into my head yesterday as we were talking about Vrabel and everything going on in New England. Did you realize the Seahawks beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl and avenged their 2014 loss? How awesome was that?
Awesome.
It was so awesome. Like, we don't even talk about it enough, how awesome it was. Right?
No.
We talked about it right off the bat. Kind of move on. What have you done for me lately?
There was some debate as to whether that does avenge. If it's a completely different team.
I know, but they played the same team that beat them in a miserable way a decade earlier, and then you went out and smoked them in front of a gigantic international audience. You absolutely beat them down in every way. How awesome was it that the Seahawks won that Super Bowl, avenged their previous Super Bowl loss? I mean, they played the same team again. I don't know, it just kind of dawned on me yesterday, Brock, that it was incredibly cool. That team that we watched this year ended up being so much fun. We were just saying that close to 1 million people came out to celebrate them. And what was it, Morris? $16 million that was injected into the local economy. That's pretty great.
That's just with the parade.
That was just the parade.
That's right.
Right. I mean, not including getting a couple of playoff games and all that. Like, just the parade ended up, leading to another $16.5 million. I mean, it's great.
Yep.
And yet, the draft feels a little, I don't want to say like a letdown, because that's not fair. I mean, like, it's kind of what happens when you pick 32. But it's just that maybe the combination of drafting 32, wanting to move back, kind of a down draft in general. We've been talking to all of these experts, and we've had, we're going to have DJ on again here in an hour, and Mike Mayock, everybody who comes on, and it's like, everyone seems to sort of just know what the Seahawks are going to do this year.
Yes, but at the same token, thinking back through all of that, do you win a Super Bowl without Gray Zabel and Nicky Manwari?
Oh, no chance. I don't think.
I mean, do you go on the run that you did and do what you do, and the role that those guys played, the role that Gray filled, right? If you had a left guard that was similar to your right guard and some of the challenges there that were kind of ongoing for many, many years. I mean, he was the 18th pick. He wasn't the 5th pick. He wasn't the 8th pick. He was the 18th pick.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicky Manwari, yeah, you're right. It doesn't feel very sexy to trade from 32 to 34, 35. The Peter Schrager's mock draft to Arizona, isn't that where Manwari ended up being?
It is,
drafted?
but I just there's something about, I don't know, maybe it was that the Seahawks were picking at 18, so we were talking about a lot more players. So by the time, they made their pick, and then even all of those guys were in play for the Seahawks at 18. Manwari was a potential middle of the first round pick.
That's right.
And it was awesome to get him where you did. Something about, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I don't follow the college stuff day to day, and I kind of rely on you and DJ and the rest of the class.
Well, everybody, and John Schneider has said it, on his
But everyone says
Thursday
it's a down
shows.
draft.
It is a down draft. That doesn't mean there can't be a player or two that is going to be an incredibly pleasant surprise. That, look at, Drake Thomas was an undrafted free agent. Ty Okada was an undrafted free agent. There were guys this year that played enormous roles in this team winning the Super Bowl that if Drake Thomas and Ty Okada were in this draft, they're probably not drafted either, right? Because they don't have some of the measurables or some of the traits or some of the things that you look for in this acquisition phase of this draft at this age and this stage. So, I think you got to kind of keep that in your back pocket that, man, if they're as good as we think they are and they are as buttoned up and connected, and Mike McDonald has further, through his communication and his staff, come alongside John and the continuity of their staff to be like, yeah, we could still find a Seahawk and we could still find an impact Seahawk. And I believe they will. I did that in Blue 88 like a month ago with the Hard Knocks. I believe we're going to have a rookie in Hard Knocks that's, I think, going to be a character and maybe a main character through that. And I think there's going to be a rookie in this class that's going to make an impact. As big as Gray and Nick, harder to do because there's not as many voids on this roster, but there still is massive opportunity.
Well, I mean, again, if you go with Jadarian Price, he better make that kind of an impact. I mean, that would be the whole reason you would make a pick like that. If you're going to go with, a corner, right? If you go with Chris Johnson, I mean, the expectation is he plays a lot right off the bat. I mean, those are two positions where I think we believe you can start off your career by having success, right? It's not a position where you're expecting to kind of get better as you go. You're kind of expecting to be good right away because it's a lot of physical attribute stuff.
And you go with one of these edges.
The game.
You go with one of these edges that we have talked about, either in the first or second round, and you're going to fit into this room, and this room is pretty darn loaded, and we're not going to ask you to do things you can't do. I mean, I think that is one of the nice things about the stability of this roster. The playmaking and the production and execution of this roster, Salk, is these rookies, whatever their grade is or their talent or their deficiencies, should be put in a position for success and not asked to do a million things, but actually play to your strength, right? Do what you do really well because we've got enough on this roster, right? I guess the baseball analogy is any of these rookies they take. At edge, a corner, a running back, we're not going to ask you to hit first, second, third, or fourth in this lineup. All right, you're going to be 7th or 8th in the lineup, and we're going to trust the skill set and our development to put you in a position to have success early.
All right, so what does it mean if, okay? I kind of had this on our show sheet for the last few days. I'm kind of waiting to get to it. But, for now, let's say they pick at 32, okay, just for the sake of this conversation.
Okay.
What does it mean if they draft an edge player, if they draft a cornerback, if they draft a running back? What does it tell you if they draft an edge player at 32?
That Mike and staff are very comfortable with what I just kind of laid out. That this guy may not be a 5-tool guy, but the 3 tools that he has are going to fit really well with the rest of the tools we have in the room.
Yeah, I could see that. I think I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I might add to that though, or question, does that also tell you they're not in love with any of the veteran options that are still left in that defensive end edge market? Whether, it's Cam Jordan or who was it who was just here? Fowler, right? I mean, Van Noy, Clowney. There's a bunch of guys that still are out there.
Miller.
I would have to assume if they draft somebody at 32, not at 64, but at 32, that it tells me they're probably not in love with any of those options or think that any of them are a real fit. Or also that they're guarding against the future, right? Because the 3 current players, as we've talked about, all have murky futures after this coming year.
Yeah, I think all of those things are factors. You maybe also try to lever those veteran guys and say, sorry, this was a really good edge draft, and we got one. So you're trying to get $10 million. Yeah, you're not going to get $10 million, not from us and not anywhere. After all these picks come off the board to all these different teams, maybe it saves you $4 or $5 million on one of those veteran guys, and you still are then able to add them into the mix.
What does it tell you if they go corner? Maybe it's Chris Johnson. Maybe there's another one. Remember, they surprised us by picking Spoon a few years ago. Like they value their corners. They lost Reek. What does it tell you if they take Chris Johnson?
At 32,
yeah,
they believe you can be the starter. Like they believe that you can come in here and Josh Jobe and Devin Witherspoon, like you're now in that mix. It's you, Spoon. It's kind of that trifecta that you got going last year, right? With Spoon and Jobe and ultimately Woolen. Like you're going to be able, if we take you at 32, I think that there is an expectation that you're going to come in here and not be a backup, but you're going to play a pretty strong role within the group because we believe in your skill set.
It's a little interesting because you look in their division. Do the Niners or Cardinals really threaten you on the outside a lot? No. I know the Niners made a deal, right? They brought in the guy from Tampa, Mike Evans, but do they really threaten you a lot on the not a ton?
We'll see what they do with Ayuk.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the young receiver that was often injured, but he made some explosive plays.
Clearly the Rams do. Right, I mean, like the Rams absolutely threaten you on the outside.
Mock drafts with them taking another receiver.
Yeah, so that's gotta at least make, if they go corner, to me that does seem to make a statement about the Rams of like, hey, we know who we've got to beat in order to get there. They're trying to make their decisions based on us, and we might need to make a couple decisions based on them. That they're a big part of this. I also wonder, Brock, would it have anything to do with a potential Devin Witherspoon negotiation? Of just giving yourself a little bit more leverage just in case things don't go all that well to have another player at the same position.
Yeah, and that feels a little the release of Legumina in the case that Morosi was trying to make. Like, okay, maybe 1% of the whole deal that's thrown in there as an ingredient. But no, I think that would be a lot more about everything else we just talked about.
What about running back? Because if they go running back, I got to imagine it's just, hey, look, we're in go for it mode, man. We just got to have this. We've got to have this position. We didn't see it anywhere else. This is a cost-controlled way of bringing in a position that we just need to have, and there aren't really any other options.
Yep, the good old-fashioned want to versus need to segments that we've done in the past. That Emmanuel Wilson, and it's Emmanuel, not Eugene. I've called him Eugene Wilson about 8,000 times.
That's maybe where I got the Logan Ryan thing yesterday. Yeah,
it's Emmanuel.
I think those two guys were together in New England.
Yes, it's Emmanuel, and I will never now screw that up again. Okay. So Emmanuel Wilson, George Halani, the rest of that room, we got some hammers, right? We got some physical guys, but we don't have that explosion. We got a bunch of double makers and grinders, but we need a home run hitter. And
so what do you make of this then? So this was Nate Tice on yesterday with Bump and Stacy talking about Price.
So I think Price, who I really do like because he's kind of a perfect do-it-all back. I think he's the guy that will always benefit from splitting a backfield. Maybe Helani could be that guy. But I do think that he fits in any type of run scheme, including a zone one. He's good in pass protection. He can return kicks. He's a good receiver. It's just a lot of stuff where he just checks a lot of boxes. It's it's kind of in some ways somewhat similar to Charbonnet in some ways, as far as just the player profile, I would say, where he's kind of that steady, does everything well, maybe nothing exceptional.
Yeah, I think he's a little more explosive than the Terminator coming out of school. If you go back a couple years to this time where you're projecting them, so I see a little more elusiveness, than you do. But I understand the point there. Like, he can do everything. He's pretty well versed. He's coming out of a pretty elite program. He's played at a high level. He's competed at a high level every day of his life for the last few years for those opportunities against Jeremiah Love. I guess the other thing too is, I got two last thoughts on this. Number one, I think that the folks over there would tell you when you learn lessons and you go back, right, kind of time on task gives you enough opportunity in the hiring process to realize, this is where we kind of, and many times it was elevating somebody because of need. It was elevating somebody on their own board, not the rest of the league, but their own board, and elevating them, and that's just not worked well in the past. Number two, what if 2027 is a really ripe, rich class for running backs? So we just got to reach right now. We got to take our comfort zone right now because we're in a Super Bowl window versus the discipline that Brady talked about in his mock. That's a good word. The discipline to our process. This is what we do. We know when we have done this in the past, it's not always been to the benefit of the team short term and certainly long term.
Well, we're going to find out at least.
We sure are.
Well, probably not tomorrow night because we're probably just going to trade out of the pick, and we're going to have to wait another day to figure out what the heck they're going to do. But that's where we're at, just one day before the draft gets going. In fact, Brock, we've got a couple of Blue 88 questions that might dig into the draft a little more.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Ewart tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
All right, question number 1 here. Mike McDonald did this sit down with Kevin Clark, who does a really nice job. And a great question from Kevin, asking him about scheme shifts in the NFL and kind of where that's going. He does ask really good questions. He's a good interviewer. Ultimately, Brock, how does that affect this year's draft?
Yeah, I think this is a little bit about the whole Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay versus Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald is the equivalent on the other side. How many times do we have that conversation through the playoffs and after the Super Bowl title and all of it? And I thought this was another way of Mike talking about, all those tight ends and all the things they're trying to dress it up. Hey, we're trying to dress it up on the other side too. Good little back and forth here from Coach.
I think people being able to build different pictures out of different personnels. So in other words, building, 22, 13 personnel pictures out of 11, building 11 pictures out of 12 and 13 and bigger personnels, try to manipulate defenses. Defenses, I think we're still kind of figuring out.
Yeah, I was going to ask what the counter to that is.
For what we've done is we've tried to stay in the same, structure personnel-wise, to not let offenses know exactly what structure we're going to be in until they take the ball. So, but that's easier said than done. You need people. You got to be able to, match those looks and be able to stop, whatever they're trying to do. So, you need special players like we have, which is fortunate that they're on our team and they're not going anywhere.
And the beauty of this goes back years and years, right? This was the whole Aaron Hernandez, Gronk, 12 personnel, and what they were able to do in 12 and get into spread formations, and then they could get into power formations, and they could be interchangeable with those guys in and out of, formations and personnel groups that should say this and dictate this, but it doesn't because we have that versatility. Does that mean, and you'll enjoy Daniel Jeremiah's answer to a question, one of the last questions I had for him, like an outside-the-box move for the Seahawks, does that mean you add yet another just versatile, interchangeable piece, whether that's Stukes, who's a nickel in a corner and a safety, whether that's Kyle Lewis, linebacker out of Pittsburgh, whether that's a safety from Toledo that is kind of Nicky Manwari, right? McNeil Warren is kind of the knockoff Nicky Manwari. He's not all the way there, but he's like 6'3", 220.
Sorry, I'm in hockey playoff mode. I was thinking Timu Solani, so that's my bad.
But, the cool, just always fluid, interchangeable scheme movement, the evolution of it with a lot of creative guys, maybe the most creative in all the NFL, right in this division.
Question number 2. So a lot of trades, right? We're expecting to see a lot of them tomorrow night. Could a Seahawk get traded tonight?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, rather?
Tomorrow, I think there's a couple. I think, did we chat about this on the air a little bit yesterday with Olu Oluwatimi, the center?
Yep.
That you brought back all 13 guys. We know in the ecosystems of offensive line groups around the NFL, very few have the continuity, the age, the depth that the Seahawks have. Some may be a little better and are graded out, but it is neat to see that a lot of these looking backs have that Seahawk group last year in the top 10 as far as offensive lines in the league, which we always clamored for. Don't be the best. Just don't be the worst.
Right.
Just be middle of the pack offensive line with everything else, and you give yourself a chance to win. Well, now they're top 10, and they've got a lot of depth. So depending on what falls to them in the draft, there are teams that need centers. There are teams that need guards. You're not moving one of your tackles. Obviously, the market was not as favorable to Jones coming back here. That was a great deal for the Seahawks. So I think they're pretty solid there. But I think Olu Oluwatimi, depending on how things move and shape and where a couple of the top-rated centers end up going, Logan Jones, a kid I profiled earlier this week, if a team in need there,
it seems like you see a lot of players like that get traded. Right,
the Oluwatimis?
Yeah, I don't feel like I watch a lot of backup players get traded during the draft because I feel like teams are just like, well, we kind of already just draft that.
We're not talking first or second.
I know.
But in a draft that's really lean.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting option.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we're talking kind of 4th and 5th round maybe value there, depending on how things fall. He'd be maybe the guy to keep an eye on.
All right, question number 3. Mike Mayock talked about chasing ghosts in the final week, Brock.
Yeah.
ESPN's done this cool feature on Prospect X, right? He's a ghost.
Yes. Yep.
Who's Prospect X this year?
Yeah, it is pretty neat article that they put together. And what is Kale? Mess up the name.
Keelan Collar.
There you go. Thank you. And most of the people, they don't never say the name in the article, but enough people do enough digging on it and know personnel well enough that it's actually a Washington kid, it looks like, which is Zach Durfee, 6'5", 258, ran 4.55 at the pro day, 39-inch vert. And he was a guy, frankly, Salk, that 3 years ago before the Apple Cup, the last Apple Cup I did with Michael Penix and the year they went to go to the playoff and all of that. I remember sitting in some of the prep work with Kalen DeBoer. Like, man, that defensive end, that guy is twitched up. And he said, I mean, he's just been screwed. Like the NCAA kind of screwed him on a transfer. He was trying to get another year, kind of got hosed again. He's just kind of been in this, this no man's land. But as far as traits go, as far as ghosts go, as far as looking at pro days and looking at like the structure and the size and the production when healthy, Zach Durfee's a guy that may find himself drafted because he's got some pretty cool measurables, and be neat if his story could finally straighten out a little bit because it's been so zigzaggy with injuries, transfers, stops and starts. Pretty talented kid.
All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88. You mentioned Stukes, right, as the kid from Arizona. I saw Louis Riddick tweeting about him today, and then even saw Matt Miller, our friend, saying, hey, look, I don't know what the Seahawks are going to do at 32, but that would be a really, really good fit.
Yes, because he's just really fast. I liked your little rapid fire you did with DJ, and we're going to play that again. We had the tape with him because he's running around all over the place in Pittsburgh and trying to get healthy. And, you kind of went rapid fire with different guys. Who's the smartest? Who's the fastest? Who's the toughest? Who's these things that, when the Seahawks are chasing edges and we've gotten to know enough of their personnel that they go after, he is fast. I mean, he can really, really run with a tremendous amount of versatility. and this Chris Johnson can really, really run with a bunch of cool versatility. And Jadarian Price, has 2 kickoff returns in his career. He can really, really run and have some scheme versatility and knows this zone scheme pretty well. So, yeah, you start to, as we get closer, land on a few of these names that are getting more and more familiar.
A lot of options out there as we are just one day before the draft. Going to be fun tomorrow. You're on, right, for the draft along with Bob and Dave and Bump. That should be pretty fun. You ready? Are you going to be able to control yourself this year?
Don't know, Salk. I don't know. Yeah. I try not to put too much expectation on myself.
Right. That's a good idea.
Try to deliver.
Right. Yeah.
So,
you don't want to. Yeah.
I mean, I am certainly prepared for when I cut Dave off for the first time, getting that look. I am certainly prepared
he doesn't like that.
For my clapping and my bouncing to create a scene, and Bob to kind of give me that look like, will you ever calm down? You're 50 years old now.
Right.
Will you ever
It is a little
be
embarrassing.
mature, please?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I don't disagree with them necessarily. Nope. I mean, you're pretty annoying, but, I find a way every day. It's very hard to be me. Find a way. Working with this annoying Brock, it's so hard. I can't even believe I managed to do it. All right, Maura put together a fun version of Which is Better, Brock. It's a special draft edition of our favorite game. Next on Brock and Salk.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
511 is now part of Seattle in the South Center Mall. It's more than a brand, it's a lifestyle built on reliability and performance. Whether you're on duty, on the trail, working out, or out for adventure, 511 delivers purpose-built clothing, bags, and footwear that stand up to the toughest demands. 511 gear is trusted by those who never settle for less. Choose 511 and live ready for anything. Are you ready to discover your 511? 511, now part of Seattle in the South Center Mall.
Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have vehicles made for adventure seekers. Get the Tundra at 2.99% APR for up to 72 months with $1,000 bonus cash or $4,000 customer cash. Lease the 4Runner for $389 a month or the Tacoma TRD Sport for $399 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Offers valid through May 4th on approved credit through TFS. Exclusive taxes, titles, license, and a negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. 2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seat backs, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Buc-ee's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Buc-ee's makes auto care simple. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence. Buc-ee's.com.
Hour and a half drive here. To have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Upgrade your comfort and cut utility costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors plus $1,000 off whole projects while taking 12 months to pay with no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 30th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. If you're dealing with ED, I know what happens. You start trying the Miracle Supplement online or those pills sitting next to the energy drinks at the corner store. If there's one thing I've learned in life, cheaper is rarely better. ED and Peyronie's disease are a major problem with few real solutions. You don't need a gas station pill. You need medical-grade technology to fix your problems. At West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to treat the root cause. No pills, no shots, no surgery. Real equipment, real staff, and real results. Stop wasting money on things that don't work. It's time to end the frustration and the long nights. So whether you have ED, Peyronie's disease, or low T, we can help. Call West Coast Men's Health today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
See any of the line brawls last night? Either Lightning Canadians or Bruin Sabres?
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. Hey, bro.
You like some of that?
You're talking about your buddy Melanson getting like 10 hits or 12 hits or whatever in some of these games. Game 1, Avalanche Kings, bloody.
Yeah.
In game 2, even bloodier.
80.
I mean, choking guys out, brawling. 82 combined hits in game 1.
I don't even think that's as many as the game 1 of Bruin Sabres. I think had 90-something. One of the teams was like 55 hits in that game. Yeah, I mean, it's just a totally different game once they get to the postseason. And then they start going after each other because somebody touches a goalie or whatnot. And that's when things start getting, like, actually fun. So, yeah, they were you want a little – here's a little brawl action for you. This was the Canadians Lightning.
And everybody is going to join the fray.
Now you got the gloves off for Perry. He's trying to get Carrier to go.
Darren Radish is on top of somebody. Jake Evans has – wrestled somebody down. That's Gitzel. And now Carrier. And originally...
you got to watch him, man. I just find myself chuckling the whole time. It's super fun. All right, we are day before the draft. Maura's got some Which is Better for us. A whole draft edition of one of our favorite games.
Feels weird with me doing Which is Better.
I know. You want me to do it?
No, I can do it. It's just, yeah.
Why? What feels weird?
Because usually
like
I do Which is
thing,
Better.
Yeah. All right, Which is Better? Cornerbacks.
Maura or Lyle with the opening phone call, the warmer-upper?
Maura is better. Maura. I'm going to go Maura.
Sorry, Maura, go ahead.
Oh, Healy said to me yesterday, why are you letting those guys push you around?
Oh.
Well, because Brock said to Lyle, please just talk to Ryan Healy like a normal person. And he didn't. Ryan could hear it. He was like, yeah, Lyle, talk to me like a normal person.
But then later, he actually said, don't let those guys push you around.
That's right. That's right. Don't let us push you around.
Are you at some point going to stop letting us push you around?
You going to fight us like a hockey player?
Oh, I throw it back sometimes at you guys. It just depends on when. I got to pick my spots.
Well, you just,
Anyhow.
We prefer more.
Which is better in a brawl, Maura or Lyle?
I mean, Lyle works out every day, but he's kind of a big wuss.
I've never thrown or taken a punch in my
Maura's
life.
also a huge wuss. They're not two people I want on my side in a brawl.
I bruise easily.
Yeah. We've never really had, I'm trying to think of all the producers we've had on the show. None of them are really great people in a brawl.
Paisley couldn't find himself out of a paper bag. No chance.
Justin would talk people out of it.
small.
He'd become friends with whoever tried to fight him.
That's true. But, again, if that's not a possibility, it's still probably Justin.
Kyle almost killed Bunker.
Yeah, one day. Kyle's got the long reach, but I think you could topple him.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Howdy's too small. He'd be off eating food in the corner.
Anywho, here we go. Which is better?
I'm taking Justin. He's the guy I'd take in a brawl. All right, what do you got, Mark?
I'm telling you, he'd befriend whoever tried to fight him.
He's got a switchblade. Okay, which is better?
He does always carry a knife.
Which is better, cornerbacks in the draft? Chris Johnson, San Diego State, or Colton Hood out of Tennessee?
Yeah, Chris Johnson. Give me Chris Johnson. I was just watching highlights during the break of him because I'm going to profile him later today. He is one smooth customer. And I like developers. I like guys that get better and better and better, and then you stick around. Like you never left. He could have got paid. But he stuck around. Yeah, give me that guy.
Developers.
Did you do that, Maura? Did you give in to him and play his stupid developers thing?
Bottom lip with that too.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I love it.
All right, I'll go with Chris Johnson too.
Thanks.
Okay. Better nickname in this draft.
Oh, this one's easy.
Iowa State defensive tackle Dominique Big Citrus Orange or Indiana wide receiver Elijah Waffle House Surratt.
This is not close.
Always open.
Give me the big citrus, man.
Big Citrus.
That's one of the best nicknames I've ever heard.
Yep. And he does look like a big old orange. He's
does?
He's a big boy
The
now.
big citrus? That is like the greatest nickname I've ever heard. What round is that guy going in?
Middle rounds.
Middle rounds?
Middle
I
rounds.
want him.
Big citrus.
Bring in the big citrus, man. We've had the big Christmas here when he was here.
Combine workout? No.
Deontay, what was that guy's name? Dion Christmas or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Remember him?
Lloyd.
It wasn't Lloyd. But I want the big citrus. Give me Dominique Orange.
You want to squeeze him?
No, I did. Yeah.
It was DeMarcus Christmas.
Thank you.
DeMarcus, that's right.
Yeah. I want the big citrus.
That's pretty good.
But I also want Genesis Smith. We didn't even get to talk to TJ about that.
Is that better than pork chop?
Yeah. Better than pork chop Womack, yeah. That's better. Okay. Or even Big Snacks is still one of the best ever.
Well, and he was funny too. He was a funny guy.
Not to be confused with our guy Big Corn.
All right, better NFL draft city. We have Pittsburgh this year in 2026 or DC in 2027.
DC.
I know Pittsburgh's sneaky fun. I'm just going to say this. Maybe I'm in the minority. I don't care at all where the draft is. I just don't care. It does not interest me at all.
If you were going to experience it, which one?
I'm not going to go experience it. It looks awful.
Okay.
Going to the draft looks so miserable. I don't have any interest in that.
All right, John Clayton, I'm giving you a hypothetical.
I don't know. What does a hypothetical mean? I don't understand.
But also two.
Yeah, but also two. I grew up in Pittsburgh. It's in Braddock.
I mean, Pittsburgh has...
Me and Gronk went to the same high school.
For Mantees, anytime you put french fries on a sandwich, I'm in.
Right. Pittsburgh's not a bad city. The baseball stadium's beautiful.
Yeah. I lived in D.C. for a year.
I saw it's going to be there. The monument's going to be in the background. D.C. is an awesome city to walk around. And
that's a cool spot for it.
D.C.'s overrated. I'll go Pittsburgh.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Which is better edge rushers in this draft? Keldrick Falk out of Auburn, or T.J. Parker out of Clemson?
Whoever's not Keldrick Falk.
If he becomes a Seahawk, it is going to be...
Wait till this guy becomes the next Lawrence Taylor. But from what I've seen...
He's a 30-second pick.
Blink scouting, take T.J. Parker.
And you haven't even blink scouted T.J. Parker.
No, but it can't be worse than Keldrick Falk.
I've got to work on that texter's idea. I'm down with the BS from Salk's segment.
That is going to be...
This guy can't play.
Year. Yeah. BS with Mike Salk.
Yeah, blink scouting. It's just blink scouting.
All right, which is better, emotional player phone calls with their new team or celebrations with their families after the announcement?
That's a tough one. Brock, this is really your ballywick.
This is right up my alley.
Yeah,
unfortunately, there's not a lot of emotional calls anymore. A lot of these guys seem too cool for school.
Yeah,
well, they're all like Lyle. They're all Gen Z. They don't care. They've all
Well, and
expected
they're making
this.
millions of dollars already.
Yeah, they're like, great. I get to take a freaking pay cut to come
And
to
they're
the
not
NFL.
great on the phone, and then you leave John Schneider like, are you all right?
Right.
And
They've
you
never
wonder,
been
like,
on a phone call before.
That's
They don't
right.
even know what to do.
So at least with the family, we get to view all of the family dynamics. And we've seen some things, right? We've seen dads pat girlfriends on the butt. Don't do that, right?
Yeah.
We've seen moms
You did?
very mad at the girlfriend of the draftee. We've seen CeeDee Lamb slap a phone down. Like, yeah, give me the family dynamic. There's way more going on. Way more drama. I'm in for that.
The
That
big
actually surprised
citrus.
The big citrus.
I'm
Gotcha.
still thinking about the big citrus. Yeah.
We can
All right. Which is better, Mr. Irrelevant or Mr. Hines?
What's Mr. Hines?
This is a new thing
Oh.
that they're doing this year because it's in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
So the 57th pick of the draft is going to be named Mr. Hines. The honoree will receive a custom Mr. 57 jacket. Or I'm sorry, Mr. 57, but it's sponsored by Heinz. They get a lifetime supply of Heinz ketchup and the opportunity to partner with Heinz, cementing their place in this new kind of draft legacy.
Wow.
Do you think it's going to last after this year, or is this
No.
just a Pittsburgh thing?
It's a one-time deal.
It's a one and done. So only one person ever
right.
gets to be
That's right.
Mr. Hines? Yeah, I think I'd want to be the only one ever.
Yeah, I'm kind of down with
On
that.
the other hand, it probably gets forgotten. Mr. Irrelevant, people remember forever.
What is a lifetime supply of ketchup? I feel like that's like 10 bottles.
Talk to my daughter, Avery.
Really?
She'd go through 10 bottles in a week. She's basically she's subsisting on ketchup and beans. She's a vegan. She doesn't eat anything, so it's just ketchup and beans.
Ew. It's a lot of sugar.
Oh, Heather buys the organic ketchup,
Oh,
so
there
it's
we go.
fine. But it is still Heinz. I mean, we're not psychopaths. Obviously, we still use Heinz.
All right, last one. Which is better, trades or completely unexpected out of the blue picks?
Trades. I love when you see, and we've got a trade. It's super exciting.
Yes. And I think we're going to see a ton of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at this Dominique Orange guy. Blink
Big
Scout, not
Citrus.
even watching him, the Big Citrus. I'm just looking at the picture. This dude's got an awesome smile. He looks like a happy dude.
I love how that's all you've been able to focus on since my second question.
His nickname is the Big Citrus. 6'2", 322. Brock.
Oh, yeah, he's stout. He's low
Almost
to the ground.
34-inch arms. Hand size 10 1/4. Heavy hands. He's got, look at the big smile, though.
He doesn't have hands. He's a citrus.
Citruses don't have hands?
No.
Why not? He's a big citrus. I don't understand. They did his strengths and weaknesses. How does the nickname Big Citrus not make his
How, I
strengths?
just looked it up. He weighed 300 pounds by his senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, big boy.
I'm into this guy. Let's
weighed
bring him in.
over
All right, hold on. We're late. Maura, I'm distracted here. We're off
number
clock.
64 on the Beast,
Yeah.
by the way.
He's not like a late round
No,
pick.
second, third round.
NFL Network grades him as eventually will be an average starter. 6.26 is
An
actually pretty
ineffective
high.
pass rusher, but powerful and movable.
Yeah.
But of course, he's a big citrus.
I don't know if he's what the Seahawks necessarily need.
Nose tackles.
But I like a good nose tackle, and I
Yes,
like a
you
big
do.
citrus. That's for
It
sure.
says he got up to 400 pounds at one point, weighed 350 coming into college,
Here's
and then got down to 325.
Here's the only problem. Dominique Orange, the big citrus. Big citrus is kind of a grapefruit, though, no, right? Like, isn't a grapefruit bigger than an orange? Is that the biggest citrus?
Yeah, but his last name is Orange.
But do you think that there's a bigger citrus out there or something? I mean, I think that would be the real challenge. All right, let's come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. And then Daniel Jeremiah, a day before the draft. That's right, here on Brock and Salk.
It was just over 2 months ago the Seahawks reached the promised land.
Bringing it home again.
But for John Schneider and his team in the front office, the long march to the Super Bowl begins here. The NFL Draft.
We're all about the preparation, the process.
Tomorrow, first-round coverage begins with a John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. live from the VMAC. With Brock Heward, Michael Bumpus, Dave Wyman, and Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. Powered by Home Comfort Alliance. On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through Sunday, May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
At Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland, they have a ride made for the young and the ambitious. Lease the 2026 Corolla for just $209 a month or the Corolla Cross for $269 a month, both for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Or level up to the Camry Hybrid for $289 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. Offers valid through May 4th on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, and a negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 25% off windows and doors or 12 months, no payments, and no interest. And we're giving back with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. As a family law attorney, I know firsthand the challenges and obstacles men face in divorce and custody matters. Our firm is committed to protecting what matters most, and we're on your team. Find us at goldbergjones.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Mariners and A's today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
The chartered plane to Queen Charlotte Lodge is on the runway, and you're not going to want to miss it. This summer has limited availability for king salmon, halibut, and lingcod fishing in beautiful Haida Gwaii, British Columbia. Queen Charlotte Lodge is absolutely the place to be. a luxury resort and amazing fishing with your buddies, dad, or son. Book your stay at fishqcl.com, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. Queen Charlotte Lodge. Experience fishing first class. And remember, our dollar's worth $1.35 north of the border.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, ugly one for the Mariners last night offensively, just unable to really do much of anything. Once again, we've seen this. It feels like just way too often.
Offensively, we had some opportunities that we didn't cash in on tonight. I thought, the first inning was outstanding. Getting Ref on there, getting him, over to the third, and then the sac fly. And obviously Cal with a couple hits tonight, and Julio. But a lot of contact tonight.
I think, Brock, that's what I'm talking about. Like when you hear no, we did a great job. We got him on, got him over, got him in. I don't know. That does sound a little bit like what you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, you're really not doing that, though. In 2 games, you're 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position. So you're hitting some singles, you're getting some traffic, but 1 for 18 with runners. And we've seen this. When you don't have hard hits, whether you like the home runs or the hard hit contact, however you want to kind of frame it, you don't have that, and then you're that poor in execution of situational ball, and 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position is that poor. And thus you lost yet another series. This one to the A's at home, and hopefully you don't get swept today. My old saying, just don't get swept.
Yeah, got to find a way to just come up with a win today. Dan Plesac on yesterday.
And you look across the league, it's not just the Mariners. Blue Jays have struggled. There was high expectation for the Royals. The Astros have struggled. The Mets are in a complete malaise. But I think if you're looking for questions and things to pick apart, I think of those struggling teams, the Mariners have the least of the problems to fix. The Mariners are a good team, and it's always nice if you get off to a good start. Certainly nobody with all the expectation wants to get off to a start, and you look up and you find yourself and you're like, man, you're looking at the division going, how in the world are we 10-14 with this roster? But it's through 24 games. And as a general rule, I really don't I wouldn't say the panic button, but you start to get to some concerns at like the 50-game mark.
All right. Well, you're at about the 25-game mark as of today, so got another 25 to go before you get to that point. Series finale, as you mentioned, 1 o'clock, day game, as Logan Gilbert battles Aaron Savali.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Casey Legamina designated for assignment yesterday, Brock. So
was it punishment, Mike?
I don't think it was.
Was it sending a message, Michael?
I didn't get that sense. I think they just needed a different reliever, and he's not been performing. So he will either be traded or most likely just end up back in AAA when it's all said and done. Alex Hoppe brought up in his place. Thought we might see him last night. I was actually a little surprised we didn't see him late in that game, but we did not. Bryce Miller's going to get his second rehab start on Friday in Everett. So if you got some time Friday night, go up to Everett. Great ballpark,
probably
fun to
50
watch.
Pitches. He was 38 his first time out.
I think it'd be in the 50 range. Yeah, Colt Emerson, we'll see if he's able to get back by then.
Night, right? Weather should be great.
He's missed his 3rd straight game now with that wrist injury that we heard about yesterday.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, mock drafts, obviously, tons of them today. Brady Henderson took Chris Johnson. We'll ask DJ about him coming up in 10 minutes. Joel Klatt, probably, I would say, the most pragmatic pick.
They're stuck here. I think that Seattle has to draft Jadarian Price, and they better hope no one jumps them to get Jadarian Price. Because with Charbonnet trying to come back, nursing a bit of an injury and coming back and trying to become healthy, they need to replace Kenneth Walker, who's now with the Chiefs. So I think Jadarian Price from Notre Dame, listen, this guy is phenomenal. He's also going to help in the kick return game. He's versatile, and he can hit home runs. You talk about a guy that does not have much tread off of his tires. He was a backup. So he didn't get many carries, and yet he still scored all those touchdowns, a home run threat.
Hopefully Joel learns it's Jadarian, or he just calls him JD between now. Maybe I'll text him.
I'm sure he'd love that.
Yeah, bro, I know you got a lot going on. You got like 3,000 names in your head, but it's Jadarian.
All right, well, if they want to go in a totally different direction, Nate Tice yesterday with Bump and Stacy said, well, forget about forget about corner, forget about running back. Just take the big edge rusher.
Defensive end actually is a position I've really looked at. Just looking at some of the contracts and also just the spot that they are at, and you can't have enough of them. I think Mike McDonald would agree with that as well. I mean, this is why the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, is just they could throw a bunch of banshees at offenses of every type of shape and form. I'm reading Haunted House books with my son, and that looks like the Seahawks defense is every type of beast that you could think of.
I was excited, wanted to know where Banshee came from, but now I guess it makes sense, reading Haunted House books.
I mean, that's been the Philadelphia and the Baltimore playbook for years and years. Like, well, we got to, no, you don't. You don't ever have enough big people.
You don't.
Offensive line, defensive line. That's what those two organizations have lived on and feasted on and kept them awfully competitive for a lot of years, just as you have. And go get the best player available.
Not going to be upset at all, Brock, if they end up with Gabe Akis at some point in this draft.
Or Big Citrus.
Or the Big Citrus. So somebody, thank you for the texter saying it's actually the pomelo is the biggest citrus.
It is, yeah.
Much bigger than a grapefruit. And by all accounts, sweeter, not as bitter. Why don't we eat more pomelos?
Because they're a pain to get to the fruit of it, I believe.
Is that it?
I think so.
You don't think that we can engineer something? No, that's the pomegranate. Pomegranate, you just eat the seeds. Okay, that's a huge pain.
Let me see what a pomelo is.
Very messy.
How do you spell it?
Pomello.
Sure.
All right, that's everything you need to know. And obviously some things you don't.
Yeah, that is a big,
Yeah, it's a big citrus, man. Yeah.
Have you ever had a pomelo?
I don't think so. Morris said she has, though.
I have. They're good. It's like a less bitter grapefruit.
That sounds great. I said, why?
Oh, this guy's holding it with two hands.
If it's less bitter and it's like a grapefruit, why wouldn't we just eat them all the time? That sounds like better than a grapefruit.
Look at the size of that thing.
I know, it's big. Yeah.
He's holding it with two hands.
Maybe they should call this guy the Big Pomelo. Maybe that would be a better nickname for him. All right, Daniel Jeremiah, how lucky are we? We get to talk to DJ, the foremost draft expert, just one day before the draft. He's next on Brock and Salk.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
The full box score does. I'm Brock Heward, and most business leaders aren't short on data. They're short on clarity. Numbers are scattered across ERP, CRMs, and spreadsheets, making decisions reactive instead of confident. And that's not how great businesses are built. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view, even if it lives in disconnected systems or offline, so you can see what's really happening and act faster. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to see what Marquee IQ can do.
This baseball season, Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. John Curley here. Get the price of a new heating and AC system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure, no waiting. Just a few questions and you get a winning personalized price. That's a home run. And if your system is over 12 years old, it could be costing you up to 20% more or could soon fail. Score a personalized price for a new system in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Robert was in big trouble with the IRS.
Yes, I owed them a lot of money, over $52,000.
Then he heard about Civic Tax Relief.
They took great care of me. It went really quick. $52,000 that I owed, and they had a payoff for $100, and the IRS accepted it. Man.
Off the hook for just $100?
Civic Tax Relief will take care of you. Give them a call.
Call Civic Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation. 800-881-4555. 800-881-4555. Individual results may vary. Visit civictaxrelief.com for more information.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeService.com.
Mariners and A's today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10. Pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy 1 Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Well, Brock, without further ado, how great to have, the draft master here the day before the draft, Dan Jeremiah. Dan, good morning. How are you?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Dan Jeremiah. Hey, can I ask you guys for some advice?
Yeah.
So I've got this cold, just kind of a little under the weather, not feeling great, kind of a big few days coming up. And I see Klatt downstairs we're getting our coffee, and he's telling me about these mobile IV deals.
Yes.
Where they'll come to the hotel and get you the mobile IV. Yes. So, so I think I kind of know where you are on this, Brock. But my thing is twofold. Number one, I'm going to have this person come to the hotel I've never met before in my life, stick a needle in my arm, and I'm going to magically feel better. Sounds great. Love that. Or I'm laid out dead in my hotel room with a needle sticking out of my arm, and Joel Klatt's going to jail.
Right.
So I just need to know what you guys think the right move is here.
If it ends with Joel Klatt in jail, I would definitely want to walk down that road, I would say. That would prevent me from having to have him on again.
Come on, man.
I mean, that part stinks. Believe me, I'd be sad about that. But, I mean, it could be a Nikki Sixx situation where they revive you, bring you back to life, and you start, sticking another needle in your arm a few hours later. So look where he is. He's doing fine today.
Have you done this, Brock? Brock, you've done this before, haven't you?
I have not. I've had kids. My Macy had to do that a couple times, and we've had plenty of players on our high school team. So, yes, I've seen it done. I'm also a fan of apple cider vinegar with a little honey and hot water. Yeah. I would strongly advise.
We don't all have Klatt's bank account. I mean, like, not all of us can spend money on this stuff like Klatt can. I think he's doing that thing like the ultra rich, where they're like taking the blood of young people and replacing their own with that blood. So I don't know, man.
I figure when he's in Columbus and he makes that call, he's like, hey, can you please send Cindy? Not Judy. I just didn't like the way Judy did it. So we just send Cindy over here. That'd be great. Thanks.
Oh man. Well, I am sorry. It's a terrible time for you to be sick, but we got about 1 million questions for you, so let's jump into it here.
Let's go.
So John Schneider said yesterday, or 2 days ago now, I guess, essentially he wants trade back. He said there's no secret. We're looking to trade back. We only have 4 picks. It's what we want to do. So if he's going to do that, how far back can and should he trade, and who are his options?
Well, I still think that price is a big part of that equation. So how far back do you want to slide? How comfortable are you going back? So to me, I was looking at them in a couple of different scenarios, and it's a little bit of a gamble if he were to go back further. But I think there's enough players that could marry up and fit them well. I mean, because they're in such a good roster position. So I did a trade in my last mock draft, and I had them making a little bit more of a significant drop. So I don't know if this would be as far as they would go, but I had them drop into the mid 40s.
Wow. And what do you get back for that? Like at least a third rounder, I would think.
Yeah, it's a nice little compensation package. I have it. Let me see if I'll pull it up, because we had our researcher go to the chart and pull it up for us. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll text to you later, because me trying to search that down is probably not going to be good radio.
No.
But it's a lot. I mean, that's a lot more than I saw Peter Schrager had his this morning, and he had them trading back to Arizona at 34, and all you get for that is a 5th round pick. Is that worth it?
So I had them. I have it right here. So I had them trading the 32nd pick in 96, and they came away with 45, 80, and 115. So they ended up 45. They ended up moving up 16 spots in the 3rd round, and they picked up a 4th round pick.
Yeah, that feels a little more, and just, I don't know, doable or reasonable, but I know 40 to 80 is kind of the wheelhouse that I have heard from.
That's a sweet spot.
Yeah, I've kind of heard from everybody. So along those lines, I was watching actually your organization. They put out a video yesterday in their war room of how they go through trades and how it pops up on their board and all the math and all the formulas and all the different values. Is there an assumed value chart of these 32 teams, or how complicated does that get in the trade process that not all of us use the same value and algorithms?
Yeah, everybody has their own thing with maybe, slight tweaks and differences, but basically, it's not universal. So it's, hey, this is how it happens every time. All right, we'll do it for this, this, and this. And they'll go, no, well, we don't see that value. You need to give us this, that, and that. Well, our chart says it's this. And then that's the haggling. That's where they go back and forth to see. And then who's the more motivated party? And I would say this year, and talking to the teams, and not necessarily Seattle, but other teams picking in the 20s that want to get out, like, they make all their own calls, but in my conversations with them, they're like, "Hey, let it be known when everybody's talking to you. Not only do we want to get out, but we don't need full fare. We'll take less than the chart. We just want to get out of here."
So let's say they go with your scenario and they trade a whole lot farther down. What's kind of left for them in the running back, defensive end, cornerback realm that they would end up, taking with their 2 second-round picks?
Well, I still think there's going to be good players. I feel really good about you're going to have corners and edge rushers that are going to be still in the mix. Like our Mason Thomas could be there. We'll see what happens. Malachi Lawrence is, I think he probably is gone. But you could get your favorite player, Gabe Akis, there if you wanted to. And then the corner position, there's still going to be really good players there. Cisse from South Carolina could be there. Everett from Georgia, Kilgore could be there. Like there's going to be there'll be good options there with those. I think Chris Johnson, I think that ship probably you miss out on that one. But there's still going to be really good players there. The one I would just be, if you were just dead set on we want Price, I'd be a little bit nervous going there that you would miss out on that one. And then now, to me, if you don't get him, then you're going to probably, I would, get as many, get some extra picks as you go through this process. And I would probably try and take a couple guys later. I don't know that there's going to be that much value in the third, fourth round for one of those running backs. I'd be more inclined to take a couple shots later.
How busy is your phone today, DJ?
Dude, it was crazy yesterday. So yesterday was just going back and forth. Today it's been pretty quiet. I don't listen to anything anybody says today anyways, to be honest with you. Like, it's just, there's nothing. I don't even turn the TV on today, but I would encourage everybody listening to turn on the mock draft show tonight so you can see my mock draft. That'd be okay. But it's just, man, there's so much stuff flying around, and to me, a lot of the good stuff you can get over the weekend, and then I learned over the years that a lot of stuff that's flying around today is really not worth a whole lot.
Yeah, and I ask you that because your predecessor, Mike Mayock, hopped on with us yesterday, and it was fun chat with him, and he said, that it was kind of in the final week or whatever leading up to the draft that, because we talked about drafting for your board or for the league, and it just didn't make a lot of sense to me that why would you ever draft for what the league says? But Mike said, well, it's more about, most of the information that I kind of shared and went back and forth was a lot of where, the league values guys in the later rounds. Like, this is where we have this guy. This is where, the consensus seems to feel. Do you kind of get pinged a bunch for that same thing, for just kind of the overall league value and especially of the later round value guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would say more day two, like the discussions that I have are a lot of that of like, hey, is this guy going to be there when we're picking in the third round, or is he going to go earlier than that? Like, I had a talk with a GM yesterday. He's like, God, man, I'd love to get Stoops in the third round. I said, yeah, good luck with that. That ain't happening.
Daniel Jeremiah with us here just a day before the NFL draft. How about that? Draft tomorrow. So let's say the Seahawks can't trade out. That's the sad news. They're at 32. They try to make your deal, and no. They try to trade back with Arizona. No, we're all good. So they got to make a pick at 32, and the two options are Johnson and Price. They could go with the cornerback, or they can go with the running back. How do you make a decision between those two guys?
I would take Price, and I like Johnson a lot, but I would take Price because they're very similarly graded. I have them stacked very close on my list, and one is an obvious position of need, and we're in our window right now. And it's funny you said Price is my 34th player. Chris Johnson is my 35th player. So I have them right next to each other, and I just think Price has more of an impact on us trying to get back and win the Super Bowl. So that's where I would go.
How challenging was your 150, your final 150 to put together?
It sucks, dude. I hate it. The challenge of it is if you could just show, like, here's my list of all the positions, and here's how I have them rated, and that's easy, like stacking them up by positions. But when you're trying to then meld them together, of like that perfect example, if I'm on a team that doesn't have a starting corner, I'm going to have Chris Johnson over Price. I gave him the same exact grade. So when you're not with a team, when you're a generic entity, like when you're melding these positions together, it's like, I mean, I don't know, they get the exact same grade on some of these guys. So it's difficult to then say, this guy over that guy. Whereas with a team, that stuff kind of sets itself.
Well, it's interesting because your feeling is if it comes down to two similarly graded players there with Chris Johnson and Jadarian Price, okay, fine. The Seahawks' bigger need might be running back, but I thought Brady Henderson, our ESPN reporter here, does a great job, and good friend of our show, made an interesting point yesterday. He took Johnson in that same scenario and just said the Seahawks have been really disciplined all offseason. That's kind of been their theme, and that the more disciplined pick is to take the corner because there's just more value in a corner than there is in a running back.
And this is what I counter with that is, and I've got this is my opinion in talking to several teams, this is the worst running back in the last class in the last decade. It's the worst. On average, there's 21 running backs that get drafted. I've asked numerous teams, how many running backs do you have on your front board? Your front board is the guys you would consider drafting. I've got anywhere between 6 and 8. So we're going from a year where it's a normal year, there's 21 of these running backs, to there's 6 or 8 of them. So, and there's, to me, a tremendous drop-off. It's a 2 running back class, in my opinion. After Price, I think it falls off a cliff. So, and for a team that's in the Super Bowl window right now that like literally has a chance to go back-to-back, I would break that rule.
So why is that, by the way? Great. I love the answer, and I think I tend to come down on your side of this. But why is that? Is that just years of running backs not getting paid, and eventually those athletes decide, all right, well, I'm going to play a different position that's going to be valued a little bit more by my sport, or is it just happened to be an off year in the running back world?
It's just an off year. Okay. We had a good group last year. We had a deep group last year. So it's not any type of trend going forward. It's just the ebbs and flows. Like we'll have a year where we got, a ton of, last year there was a lot of really, really good tight ends, like high end tight ends. This year there's, a lot of good day 3 tight ends, but it's just the nature of it. You get some years are a little deeper and some years are a little shallow. And this just happens to be literally the worst running back class in the last decade.
Hey, for Clat's sake, Charles, Rich, don't ever call yourself a generic entity, okay? Because you're not a generic entity. You're the NFLnetwork.com.
It's the name of my fantasy team, Brock.
Generic entity? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either my band name or my fantasy football name, one or the other.
So I've profiled and will today and tomorrow my 12 Seahawks, and hopefully one of these guys ends up getting picked somewhere along the line. But we've learned enough through the years with the Jordan Brooks and others that sometimes the Seahawks zig when everyone else zags. Is there a player at 32? And I guess I'll frame it in this way, DJ, that maybe not a corner, not an edge player, not Jadarian Price, not those needs on your board, but just simply a player that could keep slipping and falling and whose just grade is that much better. And the Seahawks just stay disciplined and say, this is who we are. This is the best player on the board, and I don't care that he's a D tackle. I don't care that he's a linebacker. I don't care that it may not fit our needs. It's just too good of a player. Could there be that kind of guy at 32 tomorrow night?
There's one guy who I think is going to be there when they pick, and it's not a need, but just from a fun factor, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, another 6'3" safety who's rangy and can move around and do a lot of different things. And, he's got ball production. Like, he's such a fun player to watch. Look, you'd have to have Mike on to tell you exactly how we would utilize him and deploy him, but it would be fun.
We're going to do a little rapid fire, a little DJ rapid fire here. All right, so 30 seconds or less basically on these. And then if you could, I'm going to make it a little harder because I'm going to ask you about specific, to come up with an answer to, the toughest player, smartest player that could be available at 32 or deeper in the draft. So let's try to stay away from like the top 10 guys that just aren't even an option.
A lot of guidelines to this segment.
I know.
Go ahead.
Well, we got it's like bumper bowling. So, all right, here we go. Rapid fire. Toughest player in the draft.
Keelan Rutledge, the guard from Georgia Tech. I think there's a chance he could go in the first round. I wouldn't even hate it if the Seahawks took him. He's one of my favorite players.
Smartest player.
Smartest player in the draft, Caleb Downs.
Give me a little more. I need a little bit more on Caleb Downs. For those of us who aren't
I was just
deep inside the 150,
that you might have a chance to pick. Caleb Downs is and I would also put his teammate in there, Sonny Styles. Those would be the two guys, and talking to everybody that seem to be the most intelligent football players in the draft, of just knowing the defense inside and out, can explain what their defense is to teams, and can even apply what they've learned and where they've been to the teams they're going to, and it's been impressive in the interview process.
How about the fastest player relative to his position?
Sonny Styles. Again, I'll stick with that one. Just as a linebacker, you can see it. The speed shows up on there, and he's so big and long that he looks like a gazelle when he's running out there. So he would be one. And I would actually put another one in there with Stribling, the receiver from Ole Miss. Who, there's the play out there against Georgia with Dalen Everett, who ran in the 4.3s, and it was like watching a rowboat try and catch up to a speedboat.
Player that opened your eyes the most watching film, where you went in with no expectations and came out going, "Oh my God, this guy's really good."
Well, I mean, McNeil Warren from Toledo would be up there for me. You're just not anticipating when you pop on Toledo tape that it would be that fun to watch and watch the plays that he made. So he was a lot of fun. I enjoyed his tape a lot. And I would also say Omar Cooper Jr., just from the toughness and competitiveness with the ball in his hands, like he just refuses to be tackled.
How about the other side of that? Player you went in thinking they were going to be real good, and then the more you watch, the more they dropped.
That's a good one. Keldrick Falk, probably, coming into the year.
Smart.
With all oh my God, I forgot about it. Now we're going to go back to the workout. No, I don't want to get back into that again. We've already rode that roller coaster.
Well, I'm just not surprised that the more you watched, I watched him for 1 minute. Was like, I'm out. Didn't even need to watch it anymore.
Hey, Danny, it looks like driphydration.com. 10% off right now, your first service with Drip Decade. That's your code. Go to driphydration.com.
Wow.
They got some availability in Pittsburgh today. Okay.
Okay, good. Because Klatt sent me 2 other ones that I'm sure would kill me. So that's. I think I trust you. I think you care about me more than he does. So I think I'm going to go with yours.
How about just Afrin? I mean, just spray a little Afrin and off you go.
Yeah. Well, I took a couple Sudafed. I don't know. I still don't know the difference between Sudafed, Mucinex, and all that.
What you got to do? Did you get the real Sudafed or you got to get the one that's
it wasn't behind the lock and key.
Then that doesn't matter. That's garbage. Don't even mess around with that. You got to go behind to the pharmacist and get the good stuff, or don't even bother coming. DJ, we appreciate it. A day before the draft. We can't wait to see how it all goes tomorrow night. Excited to see you do your thing as well. Feel better. I hope your adrenaline gets you through the whole thing, and we'll talk next week.
Tell you what, guys, I might not feel great, but the draft is here. I got to talk to my 2 buddies, and the Padres are tied for first place. Life is good.
What a world we live in. There you go. There goes DJ. Daniel Jeremiah, Brock, good stuff there, of course. I mean, not surprising. You don't want to mess around with the over-the-counter in front. No. You don't want the in front of the counter Sudafed. You got to go behind to the good stuff that you got to ask for. Give them your ID. It's not quite a prescription, but you got to give them your ID.
He didn't sound terrible, right? He didn't sound too gunky.
No,
I think he'll be all right. He'll suck it up. Yeah. But he's a busy cat these days. All of these draft guys are. It's now their Super Bowl, right? They spend all of these months and all of this time, right? And the binders and the names and the numbers. I was chatting with a family last night. We went to dinner before the lacrosse game, and she was asking about the draft. I said, yeah, I do a lot of the profiles, and I'm excited about it, and I dig into it. But you can't imagine some of these that this is their livelihood. I mean, this is DJ's food on the table. This is the Super Bowl of what he does, as it is for all these GMs and everybody and all these scouts and personnel directors. And then, Salk, you get a wild card, right? And then there's going to be inevitably some names, some moves, something that happens. And the Seahawks are known for wild cards, every so often. Maybe not the last couple years, been a little bit more traditional. But that Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Yeah, help me.
He was kind of a hot name like around the Senior Bowl, if you remember. Right, the year finished. He went down there. He's from Toledo, right? As DJ said, not expecting to put on Toledo tape and see, whoa, what is that? 6'3", 210, can run, just totally outlier for that division, that conference, and then the comps begin to get made. Where's the next Nicky Mamori? I need Nicky Mamori. I need this, crazy fast, big nickel, cover people, play 13, and. Yeah, I think as the draft process has gone on, he was a name you saw in the first mocks, definitely in the 20s, if not earlier. And now, as Daniel said, you're not maybe even seeing him in the first round come tomorrow night. But he is he's a toolsy guy, 6'3", 213, ran 4.52, jumps 35, covers a lot of space. So when you talk about kind of that next evolution, do you want just big, long, versatile people to defend what comes at you in this division? He would be he'd be one that's not on the need list, right? You already got Nicky Mamori. You already got a bunch of pieces. He's not necessarily a line of scrimmage player. He's not on the needs list, but could be a prospect that they think very
I am still a little intrigued by the guard too. I mean, again, not your biggest need, but if he's the toughest player in the draft, and he does fit a spot, it's not like you couldn't use a guard. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna be mad if they take a guard.
And
at
that would
32.
be Keelan Rutledge.
Yeah.
I think was the first guy profiled.
He was
number 12 guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mad if they take a guard there.
Nope. But are you gonna be in love?
I'd be in love. I could make myself in love with a guard. Sure. Look, at the end of the day, as long as they don't take a wide receiver, I'll be fine. If they take a wide receiver at 32, I'm walking out. I don't know what to say. I'll be so mad if they take a wide receiver. Other than that,
you're not even going to be there. What are
that's
you going to
true.
walk out from?
I'm just going to walk out.
Salk, you weren't invited. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm metaphorically walking out.
There's an essential list and a non-essential list when it comes to the draft.
I am non-essential.
I mean,
I think I'm the only person at the whole station without a job.
It's very clearly proven that you are a non-essential.
Clearly.
So you'll walk out of what? Your basement? None of us will see.
I'm going to be at Cecily's tryouts. I'm just going to walk out.
Not going to be on set.
Just walking out.
Not going to be there Friday.
It's metaphorical.
Not even been invited Saturday.
I've been invited to do nothing this year. Do you think I should be nervous? Everyone else here has a job, right? You got a job. Bump's got a job. Does Stacy have a job?
Stacy got a job.
She does? What is she doing during the draft?
C-Raj got a job.
C-Raj has a job? Maura's going to Muckleshoot, right? She's got a job.
Yeah, come hang out with Jordan Babineau and I for the draft at Muckleshoot Casino.
They got a job. Bob's hosting the draft.
I mean, did you spread the word about your Blink Scout abilities?
Maybe I spread it too much, and that's why I don't have a job.
Yeah. I don't know. That maybe one of those times that you look at the depth chart, you look at the batting order, you start to look at the lineup.
Wait a minute.
They always say never count numbers. Don't count numbers.
But maybe I should.
Anytime you start counting numbers, because you are a
I feel very non-essential with the draft approaching here just tomorrow and then into the weekend. I mean, you can tell yourself it's the timing, Saturday there's a Mariner game. There's not enough time to do this and that. And Thursday, it's Bob's show. So he's it's his time slot.
Sure. You talk yourself in the
I heard you were available for draft reaction videos.
I'm available for it. Yeah. You know what I was asked to do? No joke. Do you know what I was asked to do? I was asked to react to their 6th round pick. Not even and when I was given the assignment, I was like, do you want me to talk about the whole draft after the 6th round pick? And I was like, no, just the 6th rounder. I was like, well, I'm not going to know who that is. They're like, yeah, no, it's fine. we just, give a sense as to the position and what it means. I was like, okay, but that's literally my whole job this weekend is just to react to the 6th round pick.
Yeah, but you can watch 5 seconds of them in Blink Scout.
I'm going to. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm going to work my butt off at doing this right. But I was a little shocked that my only job at all this weekend, literally my only job, other than coming into work tomorrow and Friday morning, is to give a video reaction on the 6th round pick.
I mean, the 206 is probably right. They said even G probably has a job.
He probably does. Oh, this is sad. I got to take a break. I gotta make sure I don't have a pink slip hanging up in my locker. We'll be back with Brock's draft profile number 2 next on Brock and Salk.
It was just over 2 months ago the Seahawks reached the promised land.
Bringing it home again.
But for John Schneider and his team in the front office, the long march to the Super Bowl begins here. The NFL Draft.
We're all about the preparation, the process.
Tomorrow, first-round coverage begins with a John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. live from the VMAC. With Brock Heward, Michael Bumpus, Dave Wyman, and Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. Powered by Home Comfort Alliance. On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If stocking your fridge, freezer, and pantry all in one trip sounds appealing, then Chef Store is the place for you. From fresh meat and produce to everyday essentials and frozen faves, get more for less at Chef Store. Open to the public, no membership required. Visit today.
At Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland, they have a ride made for the young and the ambitious. Lease the 2026 Corolla for just $209 a month or the Corolla Cross for $269 a month, both for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Or level up to the Camry Hybrid for $289 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. Offers valid through May 4th on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, and a negotiable dealer documentation fee.
What does baseball and Klein Jewelers have in common? Diamonds, of course. Hi, Andy Klein here. Sure, we love baseball, but we love diamonds even more. Why? Because our diamonds sparkle and last longer than 9 innings. Every diamond is hand-selected for maximum brilliance, quality, and value. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds also has a big selection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond and gemstone fashion jewelry, and one-of-a-kind custom designs. Swing for the fences and shine with Klein.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC boats are easy to operate and maintain. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC, you have to see it to believe it.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Progressive knows you want to get away, but not like too away. You crave the unknown, but also charcuterie boards with 4 types of cheese. And that's exactly why you bought an RV and bundled it with Progressive, because 24/7 protection is one luxury you'll never have to give up. So go ahead, explore the wilderness, all from the comfort of your zero-gravity camp chair. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's funny how you get used to things in not-so-ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cat there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Well, now I'm concerned even more, Brock. I got this text here that says, great show today, guys. Thanks for all the work you put in. I'm worried they think I'm on my way out after that last conversation.
Well, yeah,
I'm going to be updating my resume.
Kyle asked what time I'm getting in tonight. Looks like he's going to have some demo stuff in the studio.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. After hours, going to bring some people in tonight to do some work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I don't blame them. 206 says, what I'd give to get Salk's reaction live from the Kraken Ice Complex after his third Manhattan.
I was about to read that one,
Yeah,
too.
I don't drink during the week, but I will be at the
but
Kraken
the
Ice
sixth round will
Complex.
be Saturday, Salk, and,
I don't drink before going on the air. That's a bad plan for me.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean, I do. We have the sound of me saying I love to be drunk, but not on the air. I don't think anybody wants that.
No.
Yeah. All right. Salk, I got plenty of work that needs to be done around my house. I've got a job for you. Thanks, 815. Let's do a Brock draft profile.
The Seattle Seahawks select.
This is Brock Heward's draft profile.
You want traits? Check. You want a vocal leader? Check.
At the end of the day, you have to say, okay, what's best for the organization?
Can you make people around you better, and can you bring people together?
Every day leading up to the draft.
All right, number 2. We're down to number 2. Number 2 is a very common name, been an NFL name before, been a name you've heard us talk a lot on this show and on this station about. That would be Chris Johnson, cornerback, straight cornerback out of San Diego State. Not one of these hybrid nickel safeties. Chris Johnson's a corner and a very good one. He was the Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year last year. He was a 2-year starter. He stuck around for 4 years in the Mountain West Conference. They will now join the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-8, Pac-6, whatever they're going to be next year. But for the time being, those Aztecs were pretty good, and he was a big part of that defensively. Got all the measurables you want. He's 6'1.5". He's almost 200 pounds. Plenty long enough arms, 31 and a quarter, 6'4" wingspan. I also like Salk that he bench pressed 225 17 times. Not afraid of the weight room, not allergic to it, willing to come up and hit. When we asked Mike Mayock yesterday, is this guy a Seahawk? He pointed to some of that willingness to tackle and that strength. Here was Mike.
Yeah, he does. And he'll tackle, and Seahawks appreciate physicality. They appreciate guys flying to the ball. They appreciate good human beings that care. All of those things are a match for him. He can play press or off. I like the kid a lot, and I do think he'd be a good fit.
We chatted about McNeil Warren, the end of last segment, the safety that seemed to have a lot of buzz early in the process and has kind of simmered down. It was the other way with Chris Johnson. It was a lot of have to prove it. And, man, from the Senior Bowl to the Combine to the interviews to the workouts, it feels like he's just checked every box along the way. He may not even be there at 32 anymore. I think there was a time that you look back at this and said, oh, yeah, maybe even into the second round kind of guy. But as others have had some red flags with some injuries and some physicals, as others have fallen off, all this guy has done is impress. I frankly don't know. I think it'd be maybe 50-50 if he is even still on the board at 32. Will depend on how many linemen go, on how many edge guys go, line of scrimmage guys go. But as far as just smooth, effortless, one of the best guys at that Senior Bowl where this all started, and then ran 4.4 flat, jumped 38 inches, unbelievably dynamic. Chad Reuter was on with Bump and Stacy earlier in the week talking about all of the traits that this guy brings to the table.
He's got the size-speed combination that you want, competitive player, which is always important for cornerbacks. But what was really impressive at the scouting combine, he showed the best footwork of any corner in the class. And you combine all of that stuff together, and he's, looks like a very good prospect to start immediately. And if he ends up being available at 32, I would certainly think they would have to strongly consider taking him, because there's not a lot of other corners in this draft that have all of those things that I just mentioned.
And then an All-American to boot, because he knocked down 13 passes. He intercepted 4 more of them. So he's not just a tradesy guy. He's also solved just 21 and a half. Again, you just talk about that upside and how much you can get out of him and the longevity that you have. And remember, at 32, you do have him for that 5th-year option. So spend some time earlier in the week with Brady Henderson, the hitman, and over the weekend as he had to put together his mock draft. And ultimately, it came down to the big dilemma that seems to be, it's crazy. Where we started this process months ago to where we sit here, it's a little over 24 hours away from the draft. It's crazy how the market is just kind of pushed and squeezed and felt like it's running back a corner. And then as you squeeze a little further, this is a name you're just not escaping from a lot of people. And the running back Jadarian, who I'm going to profile tomorrow, it seems to be kind of one of these two. And I agree with you. I like the way that Brady framed it. What did he say? The discipline through the process? Mm-hmm. That's been the Seahawk mantra. That's been their way, certainly over the last 2 to 3 years, as they have hit on so many difference makers in the first and the second and all the way through the draft. That push comes to shove. I think when Brady made his calls to some scouts and people in the league, which is a very simple question, Jadarian or Chris Johnson?
Yeah.
Jadarian or Chris Johnson? That ultimately the higher value, the impact of a corner, a starter in this system, brings all of his background. He's played a lot of man-to-man coverage. They do a lot of blitzing at San Diego State. He knows ball. He's checked off every box at a very high level. You're not going to go wrong if Chris Johnson's a pick at 32.
All right, there you go. Only one more draft profile to go, as Brock's been doing these every day, and obviously learn a lot about the various players that could be in play for the Seahawks, either at 32 or somewhere deeper into the draft. And yeah, I mean, Chris Johnson does seem like a pretty obvious fit. They love their cornerbacks. It's a John thing and a Mike thing, right? And obviously that Devin Witherspoon pick at number 5 is still kind of fresh in my mind of like, we talked about so many other options, but at the end of the day, they went with a guy that they thought could change the game, even though he didn't necessarily play that, top premier defensive line position. And it's obviously worked out very well. They seem pretty happy with how things have gone with Spoon. And you let Reek go in the offseason, so there's definitely space there.
Yeah, and you look at the room, too. I mean, Nehemiah Pritchett's in the room. He's probably kind of your third and fourth. He's been right there on the bubble. You look at Spoon. You look at Josh Jobe. This guy's bigger, right? He's not Reek Woolen. He's not that kind of length. But at almost 6'1.5" and almost 200 pounds, there's a physicality to what he brings in that dimension to that room with really sweet feet that would be, I think, a nice compliment. And you take him at 32. We did the segment earlier of what if, or what does this mean? You take him at 32. It means you're going to be counting on him to play a whole lot of snaps, right? That there's that kind of confidence with that skill set and with that experience in the developmental piece over 4 years that he's going to hit the field and be ready to hit the field running.
There are way too many texts about my lack of role in the Seattle sports draft coverage this weekend. 425 wondering, can we get an alternative Mike Salk Blink draft reaction show on ESPN 710 HD radio subwavelength 8 the Ocho? Like, yeah, I guess.
It turns out Matt Nelson, of all people, he's going to profile the 7th round pick.
Good.
So you get the 6th.
For
Matty,
who doesn't
sports. Watch sports and hates sports. Looks like they kind of penciled him in to do the 7th.
Salk, all you ever talk about is how much you don't follow college football and don't care. Why would they put you on the radio to talk about college players? Well, that's a fair point. I'm not going to argue about it, but I have other strengths. I have other skills that I thought might be, worthwhile and something like that. 206 says the reaction to the 6th round should just be a video of Salk sleeping on the couch with golf on TV. Well, that sounds pretty accurate. That's kind of how it's going to look. And then finally, where'd the last one go? It's up a little higher. Oh, no, this one's weird. Salk never sounds serious about anything. And when he does, he's super pessimistic about everything. And he wonders. Well, that's not entirely true. I'm serious about a lot of things. That's mean. We'll leave it with Matt in Oregon. To be fair, coming into work on a Friday is more than is typically asked of Brock. So there you go. That is the final shot levied for Matt in Oregon. We'll come back here with everything you need to know. We've got trash takes coming up. There's still more to do today, Brock. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports. Plus, I'll be updating my resume here on Seattle Sports on 710.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, homeowners out there, are you stuck on that credit card treadmill, stressed because your consumer debts and your monthly payments just continue to get higher and higher? Hey, Brock Heward here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate those high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, student loans, or simply get some cash for that remodel. With interest rates coming down, consolidating your debts right now might just be the best decision you ever make. And with excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington State for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, and reverse mortgages too. Spelled T-I-L-A, Tila is the name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today, this Wednesday, 206-766-8888. Bill and his team are ready for you. It's 206-766-8888. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. MLS 247-2046.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Trust is everything. Earning it takes years. Losing it takes 5 seconds.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. Confetti Craze makes it easy to turn any day into a party with its delicious birthday cake flavor and big birthday energy. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. I bring these tiny bottles everywhere to cakeify my day with tasty caffeine boosts. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a warehouse operations manager.
Where are the forklifts?
Sold them. Too expensive. We're using scooters now.
So you expect us to move a 2-ton pallet on a scooter?
Just lean into it. Put your back into it, people.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Mariners and A's today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10. Pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, it's just frustrating to keep talking about these Mariner losses that, unfortunately feel like we've seen them before. Just sort of the same style of loss. This one didn't have any big managerial decisions or anything like that. The pitching was just fine. Luis Castillo, not great, but he gave them 5 quality innings, only 2 runs, certainly left with them in the game. Unfortunately, bullpen couldn't hold it, and the offense just doesn't muster much of anything. Cal had a solo shot, but other than that, that was it. And on the other side, Shea Langoliris continues to do damage.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, tagged, center field. Julio looks up. He's not getting this one. It is gone.
Way gone. He got all of that one. And unfortunately, I think some of the, the comments afterwards, you're hearing a lot of the same stuff day after day.
No, I mean, like I said, there was a lot of contact, just not a lot to show for that contact. And, it's tough when you have those opportunities and you let them slip away. We were getting the at-bats. We were getting into the at-bat, getting some contact, just nothing to get the runs in.
Yeah, not hard contact. And that graphic was extremely telling at the back end of the game yesterday as Ryan and Goldie and Ryan Rowland-Smith were talking just about those pure numbers. I mean, out 2-1. 2-1 when it came to hard hit contact between and it's not even, you don't even need those numbers. You can see it.
Right. Just the eye test.
And the ear test, the noise.
That's for sure.
Actually, the noise.
Well, it has led now to this 10-15 start. John Morosi on yesterday with Wyman and Bob, and they ask, all right, why is this happening? And his answer is about as simple as it gets.
It is hard to win games when you have 4 regulars batting under 200, and of course Rivas is in there because of the Donovan injury. It's just really hard for this team to win when your 3rd hitter and your 5th hitter are both batting under 200. There's a lot of different ways to look at mathematics and analytics in this game, but when you've got all-star type players, and in the case of Cal, an MVP type player who's struggling at this level, it just proves to you that the game has a way of channeling itself into the guys that are supposed to be at the center of it all. And when they are struggling at this level, it really makes it hard for the rest of the team to pick it up.
And it is pretty remarkable because the guys that are really getting it going the most and have been the most productive were those with the least amount of expectations. Intriguing, certainly. Luke Raley, X factor for you, and Dom Canzone, can he do what he did a year ago? And those two guys have been so much of the offensive threat and prowess here through 25 games, and not enough. 4 games now worse than you were at this point last year, 14-11. You pointed out. Got to 18-12 through the first 30 games, which I think is the first kind of marker on this journey. So got to find a way to salvage at least one before hitting the road again.
And I would say, I think Julio has started to hit, what was it, an 18-game on-base streak? And while you pointed out since the first week of the season, he's got a 131 WRC+, plus, meaning he's 31% better than the league average. So I would say Julio has certainly started to pick that
up. Warm up, just not a lot of damage.
Not yet, but you've started to see Julio pick it up. You've started to see Cal hit a couple of home runs, and those things are important. Hopefully those are signs that the bigger breakout is coming, because anything they do is ultimately going to rest on those 2 shoulders. Like, they're the 2 best players, the 2 best hitters on this team, and you're going to need them to do their thing if you want to be anywhere close to where you were last year. Series finale today, 1 o'clock, Logan Gilbert, Aaron Savali, as the Mariners try to salvage one.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
They did make a move yesterday. Casey Legumina designated for assignment. To me, this was just they need another arm in the bullpen. They needed fresh arms. And, with a lot being asked of the guys in the pen recently, and unfortunately some games going the wrong way, Legumina's not been particularly effective you might as well DFA him. And instead, they call up Alex Hoppe, who we saw in spring training. He's got some interesting stuff as long as he can command it. So that was the move made yesterday.
Yeah. So, Logan, go deep today. After back-to-back outings with not a lot of depth and putting guys into some spot, go deep today, man. You're the opening day starter, right? Many of these matchups for him so far this season, he's kind of faced a stud on the other side. Savali's a journeyman. Go get this one today, go salvage it, and then a long road trip where they've been 1-8 on the road.
Yeah.
Wonderful chance to turn that around.
Turn that around.
St. Louis.
Well,
Yes.
Bryce Miller getting a little bit closer, Brock. If you guys are free Friday night, you can go to Everett and watch Bryce
Great
start for the Aqua Sox. It is really fun. Yeah.
It really is.
And it's supposed to be a nice weekend as well. Colt Emerson, unfortunately, has missed now his third straight game with that wrist injury we heard about, so hopefully that is not too serious.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Of course, the draft starts anyway tomorrow night for the Seahawks. It may really not get going until Friday if they end up trading back. That's what Peter Schrager had yesterday. Had them trading with the Cardinals, just back 2 spots to pick 34. All they add in that is a 5th rounder. Adam Schefter has said the Cardinals are one of those teams.
We'll go back to the New York Jets and Arizona Cardinals as 2 teams that certainly are looking at the quarterback position in this draft. Both are scheduled to pick at the top of round 2. The Jets at 33, the Cardinals 34. Are one of those teams willing to jump up into the back end of the first round the way the New York Giants did last year for Jackson Dart, or do they just wait for the second round to roll around? That seems to be a major question right now, but there certainly seems to be some thought that one of those teams could trade up to draft Ty Simpson in the end of round 1.
Well, in this draft, a 5th round pick is like a 7th rounder from previous years, so that's not getting back much in return and not giving much up for Arizona.
But you're also not moving that far. I mean, you're only moving back 2 spots.
Correct.
If Arizona comes up to take the quarterback, what are you really missing out on? 1 player at that point? So you would only do it if you had 2 and you just had a 5th round pick for free.
And
on the other hand,
5th year option,
you lose the 5th year option, right? So is a 5th year option worth a 5th round pick? I would think so. It's a little surprising.
Yeah.
All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on
but
the
then the
Brock and
DJ
Salk Show.
scenario is a little richer in return, but you also drop pretty significantly from 32 to the mid 40s. And I can promise you that most of these names I've profiled, the Stukes, the Johnsons, a lot of these corners,
they're not
maybe
around.
on Terrell, they're not going to be around there in the mid 40s, and more than likely not your running back either. So if 40 to 80 is truly your sweet spot where you want to mine the most talent between 40 and 80, what are you willing to take and risk and leave on the table there instead of at 32 in a Super Bowl window that's wide open right now to go get it?
Very challenging. Very challenging. All right. Tomorrow we're going to have a lot more on this. Plus, we have Jeff Passan, who wasn't able to join us yesterday, so he will check in with us tomorrow at 8:30.
We should get Bump on tomorrow, too. We should probably get all the people that are working the draft. That should probably be, I would think, kind of a priority.
Well, a lot of them are going to be asleep.
Maybe like Dave
tomorrow
and Bob
at
and
that
Bump and Stacy and C-Raj and Matt Nelson. Just kind of everybody that, all hands on deck, Lefko, everybody that's working the draft.
425 says, do you think that's the volume and tone that Adam Schefter orders his meals at a restaurant? I'm going to take the chicken piccata, and I would like the broccolini on the side. Yeah, all right, Adam, fine. Tone it down. Just give us an opinion on one of these things. Trash takes coming up in a few. It's Brock and Salk Sports on 710.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously Mother's Day is coming up. That's the perfect place to celebrate. They got the whole Mother's Day weekend giveaway where you could win one of 100 designer handbags all filled up with prizes. That's Saturday and Sunday, May 9th and 10th. And don't forget, the hotel is incredible. So you got to book a stay. Mom will love it, whoever the mom is in your life. And the spa, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's beautiful. They've done a great job. The effortless style combined with the utmost in relaxation. You can go to snocasino.com for more and to book. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Still here helping men with ED and Peyronie's disease in 2026. Our clinics have helped thousands of men in the last 8 years just like you. Most guys tell me that in their early 50s, they started using Viagra. It worked for 3 or 4 years and then tapered off. That's because Viagra is not a curative medication. It's a short-term solution. Our wave therapy breaks down the plaque in the arteries and increases blood flow without using any medication, with proven long-lasting results. Our treatments are so successful that we have some men driving up to 5 hours just to get treated every week, and our 4.9 average star rating on Google proves it. So whether it's ED, Peyronie's disease, or low testosterone, West Coast Men's Health has the answers you're looking for.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
The Puyallup RV Show returns April 30th through May 3rd. Take advantage of show-only prices. Now through April 29th, buy a ticket online, get another free. PuyallupRVShow.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
A legendary night for a legendary arm. The one and only Randy Johnson.
Swing and a miss. He's got number 14.
See the big unit make more Mariners history on Saturday, May 2nd, as his number 51 is retired at T-Mobile Park. The first Mariners pitcher to throw a no-hitter.
Randy looks to the skies. That is covered by the dome and bedlam.
Win the Cy Young Award.
And there's 19. That is a new American League record by a left-hander.
And be inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
The trade to Seattle set my career in motion.
He was dominant. He was intimidating. He was electric.
Join us in celebrating the big unit for 2 great nights presented by T-Mobile. Friday, May 1st, score your own number 51 on Randy Johnson 80s Jersey Night. And be there Saturday, May 2nd for Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night.
Very proud to have played there for 10 years. Thank you, Seattle.
Get your tickets at mariners.com/big unit.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Thank you, 206, for doing the math. I screwed it up. It's actually a 6th rounder, not a 5th rounder, that you would get back for the 32nd pick to go to 34. It makes it even less attractive. So, and it's like, I think, a mid to late 6th round pick,
Another
too.
reason why you're not working the draft.
Yeah, no, one of many. Trust me. It's one of many, many reasons that I'm not working the draft. Brock, let me ask you a serious question. Can I ask you a serious question? Because we've been talking through this, and it's 7 o'clock trying to figure out, like, all right, how serious is this problem with the Mariners? And, like, they're not winning. They're 10-15. They're 5 games below 500. But it's not even just like nobody wanted them to be 500. We wanted them to be 5 games above 500 today. Like, the idea was this lineup, this pitching staff, what they've done, like, come out and be 15-10. Not 13-12, not 12-13, and certainly not 10-15. And so you're playing probably 8 to 10 games below where we thought they would be, below our expectation. And I really did like the sound yesterday from Ryan Healy. Let me play this for you. Of sort of that challenge of what happens when expectations are high.
But that frustration has been brewing because the expectation is we're going to go out there, win 162 and win a World Series and sweep every series. That's not baseball. That's not how it works. So these players are going through this early season grind when the bats aren't totally warmed up yet. The pitching staff is doing tremendous. So now as the offense, you feel more pressure of, I want to support this pitching staff because they're throwing quality start after quality start. We can't get them runs. That's frustrating as an offense. So that builds even further. Then all of a sudden they go out there, they put some runs up, and it feels really good. And you're like, all right, now we can roll. And you show up the next day, and the JT Ginn all of a sudden settles in after the 4th inning, and they allow him to go in the 6th, and then the A's bullpen, who doesn't have a lot of big names back there, is able to kind of shut you down a little bit.
So I think the beginning is maybe exaggerated a little bit. I don't think we were expecting 162-0, but I think there was a legitimate and real expectation that this team would come out of the gates a whole lot hotter and that we just wouldn't have to have this conversation this year.
Yep.
So with that as kind of a background, I wanted to ask all 3 of you, answer seriously for a moment. Just think seriously for a moment. How significant, like how worried are you? I'm going to give you a scale of 1 to 10.
Are we going to play Longshanks?
No, this is just going to be numbers.
George?
No, just scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
Keeping it simple. This is a serious question, not a silly question.
I apologize.
Serious question. How worried are you? 10 is, I really think the Mariners have a problem, and this might be the real team. They might actually finish on this pace and essentially go 60-100, 62-100.
That'd be 10 on the
That
worry
would be
meter?
a 10 on the worry meter. Like, yeah, I think this thing is screwed up. This is a major problem. And a 1 would be, I still think they're going to win the World Series. It's a bad month, and it means absolutely nothing. Where are you legit? Like, be serious for a moment. And if you guys want to text in, you can text in, but be serious. Don't exaggerate. I know we have some fun with the overnight texts and late night texts and all that, but seriously, what number would you put on your worry meter today between 1 and 10?
I mean, I hate to straddle because that's bad radio. You want to be a 10 or you want to be a 1.
Wherever you want.
But honestly, I would say a 5. I would say this is not a 1 or a 2 or a nothing burger. It's not an 8, 9, or a 10, but it's probably right there in the middle with just kind of the eye test. And it's a whole bunch of stuff when you kind of blink scout eye test. You know, this Brendan Donovan thing's, that's not good. And you see, significant a role that he really plays, that without him, what happens over there at the hot corner, there are a couple plays there. They're tough plays for Rivas yesterday, but an elite third baseman, I think, knocks down that ball. It's not a double. I think when they get the glove near it, the elite, and Brendan's not that, so I'm not saying you've lost his elite glove because he really struggled out the gate. But I think that's real. I think just some of the weight of expectation is real because that's not been a 25-game issue. We've watched that for some years with some of these players that, some of the weight of that you're 10-15, Salk, and you're one of the best pitching teams in baseball, and you're still only 10-15.
But also you've gotten, the flip side of that, which is why you're at a 5 and not an 8, is you're 10-15 despite getting absolutely nothing really from the heart of your lineup.
That's very true too.
Yeah. Lyle, where are you at? Honestly, no jokes. Where are you today?
Probably a 3. I don't think a tough April ends up making or breaking an entire season by any means. You want to start hot, and teams can lose a division in April. I certainly don't think the Mariners have done that, but you can't win it either. So, look, I think they'll be fine, but the reason it's not a 1 is because we have seen some of the concerns that I've personally had pop up in the first couple weeks of the season. You want to look at the 8th inning the other night when Legumina had to pitch. I understand 2 guys were down, but that is a prime example of them being a leverage arm short, which I've thought forever. Whether it was Joan Duran last summer or somebody that could have added this winter, I don't think they have it. They're going to have to go get it at the deadline. So there's that. There's the hard hit rates being down. There's the struggles against lefties. These things can improve, but it's not a 1. However, I also think they'll turn it around.
Maura?
Yeah, I'm with, I was going to go 5 too. I think.
5.2. Okay, very specific.
No, 5 as well. I think that it's definitely something they could easily turn around, but I was under the impression that some of the changes they made this offseason were going to bring more consistency to the lineup, so you didn't have this kind of roller coaster feeling, especially early on. And I'm just a little bit worried that we're going to still have these just dry valleys of nothing, of no hitting. Well, at least from the top of the, I don't know. I think Julio and Cal and those guys will end up being more consistent. I just feel like then other guys won't, and that just seems to be what we keep seeing over and over again, and it's frustrating.
And I would say 5 as well. Let me add just one other thing. That's all just looking at your own crew, which is what we do, and we spend a lot of time doing in the Seahawks offseason. We spend a lot of time doing, and you forget to kind of look out at others. Like just watching other teams and watching San Diego's length of lineup and the back end of that bullpen and some of their quality starting pitching, and watching the Yankees come in here and totally shut you down with the health, and that's without Garrett Cole. Watching these A's in this lineup even without Rooker and some of the length and the strengths that they all bring.
All those teams are flawed too. The A's don't really have the pitching. The Yankees, as soon as that was done, went and lost a bunch of games as well, and the pressure that they have to deal with. That the Mariners have, when their lineup is actually doing what it's supposed to, should look every bit as good as the Padres
I know that the
lineup.
Rangers, if healthy, can pitch and pitch in ways that they've not pitched the last few years. You also know
they're generally not going to be healthy. I think your 5 is in the interest of not taking the same number as you and saying, okay, 5 is unfair.
You're probably
because it's
4, aren't you? 4.5.
I think I'm a 4. I think that's exactly what I was going to say. I think I'm a little more worried than Lyle sounded. A little less worried than I can't go halfway. It's less than halfway. I just can't bring myself to be more than a 4, 4.5 before May 1st.
And I think some of it is less worry and more almost disappointment.
Yeah.
Like weighing in on your score, right?
I think
because you expected a little more.
I would say that I have to change any thought that this team was going to win in the upper 90s. I think I probably have to back off, because you really do need a level of consistency, or else you need to go on another one of those 25-5 streaks, which are really hard to come by. So I probably got to back them off, some of the higher 90s projections, even mid 90s, and bring it back to that 90 range, right around where they've been the last couple of years. I think that's a bummer. And I do think that they are in a bit of a bind. I don't know what they don't have a natural escape valve. You know what I mean? They don't have a pressure release that is sort of an obvious answer. And so they're doing the right thing, which is just being patient with the system that they believe will work. It just hasn't worked yet. And you can do that for a while. You don't need to give up on your system after 25 games. That would be pretty silly. They have a conviction in what they want to do, and they need to stick by it for a while. But I just don't know what their pressure release valve is.
Well, it'd be hard contact. I think they would say that. I would have to imagine the numbers are pretty overwhelming in that way, at least from upstairs, and the stats in the analytics.
But that's
are
assuming that there's been some sort of a philosophical change. And Julio was pretty clear a week or so ago that he's like, we're not trying to swing slower.
Right.
But maybe, the only thing I can think of, because I can't come up with another explanation for all of the slower bat speeds and hard is just that they're concentrating so much on contact that it's unfortunately taken away their aggressiveness and their ability to just swing the bat and do what's made them successful over the last few years. That's the best I can come up with. I don't know what else to come up with. I mean, that's a guess. It's a theory. It's not an answer. But what other theory is there for a team that as a whole is just not swinging as hard?
Yeah,
I think there's other factors too, even more than just the offense. I don't know how much we even talked about this last year, and I don't know how much we've really talked about it this year, but this is not a good defensive team. By outs above average, they're 29th. Fielding run value, they're 27th. So they're not playing great defense. They're not really stealing bases, and we've seen some of the stuff on the margins with the decisions cost them at times too.
Yeah, it's a good point. So I think that's why I couldn't really go below a 4. I think there are some very real problems. I also think it is...
You're one of the slowest teams too, by the way.
Those problems are being exacerbated by the fact that your 3 best hitters just haven't done their thing yet.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, and Josh Naylor are going to go 6 months without hitting. I mean, and if they do, you're going to be bad. I mean, and you should be. That's what your team was built on.
Yeah.
No team should be able to survive their 3 best hitters being bad for a year. So I think that's what keeps me under 5. It's what keeps me grounded a little bit, and just knowing that 137 games left to play. Is that what we decided? There's just too many opportunities for those guys to hit. And we've seen what it looks like when they actually do. But
then the defensive piece, when Colt Emerson is hopefully ready, that should improve, right?
It should help it. I mean, I think it's still not going to be their strength. I think Lyle's right. They're not particularly fast. They haven't gotten on base enough to steal a lot of bags. We just haven't seen a lot of the completeness and multifaceted angles that we thought this team would have.
It's kind of like, in the analogy we used yesterday, of not hitting the fastball is like not running the ball or stopping the run at the NFL level or any level of football, right? And it's also when you're just kind of stuck in this, you're just not giving yourself enough. How many times do we hear Pete say that? What's wrong with third downs? What's wrong? Well, you got into these third downs because you couldn't run the ball, or you couldn't stop the run, so you had very manageable, and they just could never get the rest of the plan going. Could never get to the rest of the plays, could not run enough plays, could not have enough bites at the apple, could not have enough opportunities. And, when you're getting on base at the rate they are, when you're hitting for the average that you're hitting, you're just not giving yourself, I think, the full opportunity to play the game the way you want to play it. And make it hard on your opponent, and pressurize your opponent, and be aggressive against your opponent. We're just not feeling that 25 games in.
But what is the reason why? That's, I think, the thing we still just don't really know. I think you just need your guys to hit. And, I know you see a lot of texts like this one saying, well, Dan's not intense enough and this and that. Look, I got my issues with Dan and the way he manages in game, but I don't think more intensity is the challenge here. If anything, I think Dan has the right sort of personality and that idea of just staying chill and believing in the guys right now, I think is much more what they need. But at some point, you gotta start recognizing that there's a problem. It's probably not today, 25 games in, but
it's probably not Dan. It's probably Cal. It's probably Julio. It's probably Josh. It's probably JP. It's probably one of those guys that's going to be the voice.
The challenge is, and somebody asked earlier, should there be a players only meeting? Sure. Who's going to call it? What player's playing well enough to be able to do? I mean, there's been such a dearth of the guys at the top really getting it done. So yeah, that stuff may happen, and they may have a players only meeting, and they may all, who knows? Maybe the Cal Randy thing is still kind of hanging over them. That wouldn't shock me. I got a texter here saying that, Cal left Randy hanging the other day on a home run, and then Randy was nowhere to be seen when Cal hit a home run. I don't know whether any of that is true. I didn't see Randy. I did look yesterday when Cal hit his home run, or maybe it was 2 days ago, and I was like, oh, I don't really see Randy there, but who knows? Maybe he's in the tunnel. Maybe he's working on something. Like, it's just really hard to judge that stuff from the outside. But at some point, you got to start playing better than, what they've done so far. 10-15, that's just not good enough for what we've been promised and what we expect this year.
Get it together. Don't look like trash.
Trash takes.
It's a bunch of trash.
Oh, gosh. I thought it was trash.
On Brock and Salk.
That's a terrible take.
All right. We've got a little trash takes today. Let's see if Brock can get off the schneid. He's just been awful at this.
15. I'm not even been 10 and 15.
Yeah, my concern level for you, though, is probably more like an 8. You're just bad at this.
I am.
We both went with people you don't like to try to sway you, I think.
Yeah, I tried to manipulate.
I mean,
we were talking about during the break.
Act of a desperate man.
Uh-huh.
Desperation is a stinky perfume.
So I'll just manipulate right away.
Oh, you want to go first?
One of your favorites.
Okay.
Maybe your favorite Seahawk that you just really enjoyed to cover in the lone season he was here.
Oh, jeez.
Now you get to listen to him talk about analytics on broadcasts all the time. Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen was on Yahoo and was asked about, what do you think of Troy Aikman and Tom Brady? Being broadcasters, having the wealth of inside information and being inside the halls of all these organizations. You got a problem with them at all? Wearing both hats? Here was Greg.
Obviously, that's not my world to dive into. I understand the appeal. I understand the allure of both sides, both the Troy and Tom and whoever else it could be. And I also understand the allure of the team. These are highly accomplished players. They're highly accomplished individuals in the world of football that bring a lot of value, a lot of knowledge. And until someone says that it's against the rules, I have no problem with it.
No problem with it. He probably wants to be next.
Okay. Greg Olsen doesn't have a problem with Troy Aikman or Tom Brady or anybody else double dipping.
Nope.
Okay.
Double agency.
Maura, you usually like to go second.
Okay. I'm also going with someone that you love, Ian Rappaport.
Oh, jeez.
I don't have any sound this week, but he reported, he tweeted about the Cowboys signing Brandon Aubrey, their kicker, to a new deal. So he has the tweet that says that there's a new highest paid kicker in the NFL as the Cowboys and All-Pro Brandon Aubrey have a deal. Then he quote tweeted that and put, Dallas has in recent years been proactive with getting deals done. Another example and a huge payday for the NFL's best. And he's just getting roasted for how Dallas has always been the last to pay every single one of their players, and they pay more money for it. He even got community noted on Twitter.
Wow.
It says, readers added context. Contrary to the claim, reports indicate that Dallas has often delayed contract extensions in recent years, leading to holdouts and higher costs for players like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb.
Ouch.
Not to mention losing guys like Micah Parsons.
Yes.
Wow. I missed that. Wow.
Come on, Ian.
That is. Lyle, you're going to have your work cut out for you. What do you got for trash takes
That
today?
one is pretty good. But I don't have any sound either. This is just a tweet. So Joe Buck's getting all set to now host an ESPN Jeopardy, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But it was quote tweeted by Darren Ravel, who says, given ESPN struggling with a young audience, this is a really strange decision. There's so many better hosts that appeal to younger fans, like I Show Speed or the Dude Perfect guys. I mean, that might be one of the worst takes I've ever read.
Who's I Show Speed?
Streamer.
He's one of the biggest streamers and YouTubers in the world. This is the challenge with this, because I knew you guys were going to have no clue who somebody like I Show Speed is.
I know Dude Perfect is.
Jeez,
you know
Lyle.
I Show Speed?
Yes. You don't think my high school football players talk about I Show Speed?
I mean, probably. Again, he's massive. He's got 53 million subsubscribers on YouTube, and he's like 20 years old.
He's got 53 million subscribers. I can't even get an invite to help out with draft coverage.
Yeah, and he's like 20, 21 years old. But let me just put it like this. Speed hosting Jeopardy would be like me hosting a show on the History Channel.
Facts. That is facts.
Yeah. So I'm out on Darren Ravel's take.
Or on Shakespearean literature.
That would be fun. I would actually pay for that.
Yeah.
I Show Speed. He's known for his loud reactions and comical personality.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why you would not be hosting Jeopardy.
Loud reactions on Jeopardy does sound kind of funny. All right. Well, this seems pretty easy. Brock, you're not even close. I mean, what are you even doing in this? Do you have any idea how to do trash takes? I mean, yeah, it was Greg Olson, but that was such a mild, tepid, like he barely said anything. Yeah. Are you even trying? Do you need help? Do you need tutoring? Do you want to go to school for this? Do you want to meet with Maura and Lyle weekly so they can sort of help you through trash takes? I can't believe how bad you've gotten
I'm in a slump. I'm in a slump.
Well, get on the traject machine or something, buddy, because you're batting under 100.
Yeah.
This is getting rough.
Yep.
And there are times where you've been close. Like, you've stung a ball, but the right fielder just makes a dynamic play.
Fair.
This is a swing and a miss at 3 pitches outside the zone. This is the worst trash take you've brought.
What?
Yeah, it just wasn't even trash. It was just, yeah, okay, whatever. It didn't even bother me.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry. You're way off.
Greg Olson not thinking, double dipping.
I think he may be letting some of his frustration from being left off the draft coverage
so.
out on you, Brock.
That's fine.
This seems like an extreme reaction.
No, I'll take it.
Just trying to help. Just trying to help Brock. You got to, there's got to be a level of accountability.
Okay.
Lyle, it's a good one. I appreciate yours. And in a normal week, you'd probably win with that. That is a terrible take from Rovell, who I do like, even though I understand why he gets killed by everybody. He was super nice to me.
He's odd.
He's definitely odd.
He's very odd.
He's an odd dude.
He's kind of fallen off the... He had some stuff. Yeah, he's kind of fallen off.
He, when I, was first looking to get into the business, he was one of the people I reached out to, and he was just incredibly nice and generous with his time, and I've always liked him for that reason.
He ran a 40. He tried to run a 40, and then people saw him.
And he messed up the basketball thing. Like, he's just done some really dumb things over the years. I get it, why people have such a problem with him, but he was very nice to me, and so I'll pull a John Clayton and say he was nice to me, so I kind of... We'll give him a break now and again. But that's a pretty bad take. But the Ian Rappaport thing, getting community noted as the NFL reporter for NFL Network for screwing it up that badly is an easy win for the great sound hound Maura Dooley. That is terrible. That's just awful.
You would enjoy the comments because everyone's just roasting him.
As they should. As they should.
I felt like didn't he pay CD fairly early in the process or no? There's been some, but there's been,
that's a really bad take. Like, that's not what they've done, right?
No.
That is not a description of who.
No, CD had a months-long holdout.
Yeah.
Did he?
You get stuff wrong all the time, and everybody knows it.
That's really
CD missed all of training camp and mandatory minicamp.
You're not that famous. You don't get to act that way. If that was Jack Nicholson on the phone, I let him slide with that. You're Ian Rappaport. You're a nerd in a suit.
You don't get to act that way.
That Chad Dukes line is...
You don't get to act that way.
Yeah.
That's like someone telling us they got 10 to 12.
I was going to say.
He just kicked me in the 5 o'clock hour. I don't know how many of you know this, but the 5 o'clock hour, money hour for the PM drive. I just got kicked in the... by a Zip Zero, stingy with De Niro.
Oh my.
Wow.
Brock's right, though. We got big time by a guest the other day. Or Lyle did.
Lyle did. We got a no. No. 10 to 12. Okay.
You're Ian Rappaport. You're a nerd in a suit.
All right, we got to go. We got to go. It's enough. Stop playing those, Maura.
No.
Okay.
That's a no.
Thank you. Chad Dukes. We will be back tomorrow. We will have Jeff Passan. We will be getting ready for the draft. We'll try to talk to someone who knows something like Michael Bumpus to help pour me out because obviously I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And that'll be fun. It's Bump and Stacy up next. Daytime Mariners. We'll see you guys at 6. Till then, the hay.
Barn.
See you, everybody.
No.
Get to the chopper!
What is that sound?
Tag sales event is going on right
It
now.
sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Everyone's been told the same story about real estate investing. Buy property, deal with tenants, manage construction headaches, and yet Legacy Group Capital, they ignore all of that. Jason Rantz here. Here's what Legacy Group Capital actually does. They lend on real estate. They acquire it, they build it, they develop it, and then they share the profits with investors. It's not complicated. There's no gimmicks. The track record? Double-digit returns with zero investor losses. You get the upside of real estate without owning a single piece of it. And right now, Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund, it's offering a fixed 9% rate of return. And yeah, IRAs are accepted. While everyone else is chasing overheated trends, you're locking in a fixed return backed by real assets, managed by real experts. More than 1,300 investors have already put over $350 million to work with Legacy Group Capital. These aren't people who got lucky. They got smart. You can get smart. Call 425-635-4700 or go to legacyg.com. Don't overcomplicate things. Legacy Group Capital.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? Hey, Brock Heward here. And working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years. And you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months. Plus, mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here. So go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Still here helping men with ED and Peyronie's disease in 2026. Our clinics have helped thousands of men in the last 8 years just like you. Most guys tell me that in their early 50s, they started using Viagra. It worked for 3 or 4 years and then tapered off. That's because Viagra is not a curative medication. It's a short-term solution. Our wave therapy breaks down the plaque in the arteries and increases blood flow without using any medication, with proven long-lasting results. Our treatments are so successful that we have some men driving up to 5 hours just to get treated every week, and our 4.9 average star rating on Google proves it. So whether it's ED, Peyronie's disease, or low testosterone, West Coast Men's Health has the answers you're looking for.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seat backs, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free